Aloha, welcome back, friends. Once again, this is Brendan, aka Wolf, and you're tuned in for some more live tarot readings with Wolf. We are broadcasting on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and we're just getting things all set up, so we'll just take an extra couple moments to be able to invite people to tune in. And I'm going to launch the broadcast over on Instagram right now. And once we do that, we just have to share it to one more place, and then we will officially be ready to go and get ready for our first reading. So stand by, launching on Instagram. All right, aloha to those of you tuning into this on Instagram. If you're watching this in the future, please feel free to just click my bio link and to tune in on YouTube. If you ever see me live during the day doing live tarot readings, usually I have the link for the YouTube in my bio. So if you see me there, please feel free to just jump over to the YouTube link. So again, click the link in my bio to be able to tune in on YouTube. We're just about to get started here, and I'm going to share this broadcast into one more group, the 1111 movement group, which again, I'm one of the admins for, and Jessica, our friend there, is super supportive and allows us to be able to share some watch parties there. So once we do that, then that like invites like well over like 50 people to be able to tune in. And once we get things all set up and ready to go, we will get right into our first reading. So launching the broadcasts on the 1111 movement group. Again, for those of you on Instagram, click the link in my bio to jump over to YouTube. And if you are on Facebook, do me a favor and just jump over to the YouTube to make sure that it's working okay, and just drop the 1111s in the chat to make sure that you can hear me just good. And again, we'll be getting ready to go into our first reading in the next moment as we give people another opportunity to just be able to join and get connected. Yo, Curtis, thanks for joining, dude. All right, starting broadcast in the 1111 movement group. Here we go. Okay. All right, aloha to those of you who are tuning into this broadcast on the many platforms that we are broadcasting from: Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram. My name is Brendan, and we're getting ready to do some more live tarot readings with Wolf. Brendan, Wolf, Mystic Spider-Man, Skull Babylon, that's me. And as we are getting ready here, please feel free to just leave some comments, say hello. If this is your first time tuning in, drop a 222. If you've been here before, drop a 333. I love to just be able to say hello to people who are joining in for the first time. Kimberly, thank you for the compliments. Kimberly's already saying your reading yesterday was spot on. Thank you, Kimberly. That means a lot to be able to have your support. So we're just going to take another extra moment here to be able to give people a chance to tune in, and then we're going to get right into our first reading. Aloha, Sophie. Aloha, Anne. Aloha, everybody joining in. I'll do my best just be able to say hello and acknowledge, and thank you for taking time out of your day to be able to hang out. And so again, what we're going to do, I'm going to give you the instructions on how we do the readings here for those of you who may be brand new to the broadcast. Thank you to those of you on YouTube who are dropping in the comments there to confirm that you can hear me okay. And 1 second here. Hold on. How do I close this? 1 second. Something popped up. I just have to close this. Turn off chat tabs. Does that work? Hold on. There's like a thing that's like blocking the chat. Hold on. All right. Give me 2 seconds here. Is this working? There we go. All right. Okay. Perfect. We're all good, all set up. Thank you again, everyone, for being here. My name is Wolf. If this is your first time here, drop a 222 in the chats. If you've been here before, drop a 333. And here are your instructions. First of all, let me just clarify the intention. When we do these broadcasts, this is an awesome opportunity for us to be able to use tarot readings as a chance to be able to bring forth more clarity, inspiration, excitement, and just to be able to help bring us together as a team of people who are passionate about being able to help change the world, about people who are assisting with the shift in consciousness. What we do here is not just the tarot readings, but we are also building community. We are building a team. So as a quick introduction, my name is Brendan. I'm a full-time conscious media creator. I'm the director for a project known as Paradigm Shift Central, which is about building a global team of conscious creators and leaders. I'm an award-winning Canadian filmmaker. I've been creating conscious media for over 10 years, longer than that technically. And when we do these broadcasts, what we're doing is that we're providing awesome value through the tarot readings, bringing people together as a team, and also inviting people to support and sign up to Patreon, which is a website where people can support artists. So I have my own Patreon, and when people sign up there, they can support what I'm doing, what we're doing as a community, and also to be able to receive value as well by being able to be involved in the Paradigm Shift Central project as a leading member. So I'll explain a little bit more about that in the next moment. But in terms of the readings themselves, just to be clear, the readings themselves, the way how we do these, everyone's got their own style. With these readings, I don't necessarily do these as like psychic readings or fortune tellings. Basically, as I already said, this is a chance for us to be able to set the intention of show us what we need to see, and then to be able to use the cards as a conduit, and for us to be able to bring forth that message and to practice delivering it to the team. So we're going to do our first reading for someone out of the chat, and then the next readings following that will be for people as they sign up to the Patreon, and I'm going to post a link for that into the chat. And again, the Patreon is a monthly micro contribution to be able to help support the ongoing work that I do, but also the ongoing work that we are creating as a community. And you can sign up there, and I'll just explain real quick. And the other cool thing is that when you sign up onto the Patreon, you can also get a super beautiful Lumerian Light Guardian Crystal, which is a handmade item that I make for supporters. And you can also get access to me as your private conscious media creation coach. And you get to be involved in the Paradigm Shift Central project as a leading member, which again is kind of like our team of conscious creators and leaders. So if you're like a YouTuber, if you're creating content on Instagram, if you're an entrepreneur, if you have a spiritual service, definitely check out the value that we're providing with the Patreon. It's my goal over the next 5 years to be able to help over 100 conscious creators become self-sustained in what they do, to be able to help us collectively create more global impact, to be able to help change, to assist in the shift in consciousness. So pretty cool stuff. Again, go ahead and check out the Patreon. Our objective is to get 2 or 3 Patreon signups within the next couple of hours. And then I have to, the other thing I'll just mention real quick, and then we're going to get right into our reading. Today, we are actually doing a very special full moon guided global meditation. So make sure that you're subscribed to me on YouTube to be able to tune into that, or follow my profile on Facebook. And that's at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. So if you're here now, I would love for you to be able to join for tonight's full moon guided global meditation at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I believe 1 a.m. GMT. And we've been doing these guided global meditations for a while. Again, for those of you who have been here before, you know what we're talking about. And yeah, we're actually going to be like sending a lot of good vibes like all over the world, Australia, everywhere. We're going to be incorporating that. And it's a wolf moon, so looking forward to that. So again, tune in for that. Let's get right into our first reading. Here are your basic instructions. If you haven't already yet, share this broadcast with your friends. The next thing that we are going to do, I am going to tell you a number, and then the 8th person who enters this number into the chat will be the first person that we do our reading for. But again, when we do these readings, what makes them really special is that we do them as a collective. So even if we're pulling it from one person, that person works as a conduit. But if you're here, this message is for you. Again, we set the intention of show us what we need to show us what we need to see. So again, even if you're not chosen, stick around, because there's still a message here for you. And we've been doing these broadcasts for a while. And again, the people who've been joining in, thank you so much for your feedback and your support. Again, it's awesome to hear from you. People who are just like, yo, this is awesome. Thank you so much for the inspiration. So with that said, let's get right into our first reading. And again, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a number. The 8th person who enters this number into the chat will be the first person we do a reading for. Keep in mind, there are multiple chats. If you want, you can tune in on Facebook or on Instagram as well. And I'll be taking a look at all of the chats. So I'm just posting a link for the YouTube right now. If you want to watch on YouTube, go ahead and jump over there. But again, I'm going to give you the number. Don't enter this number more than once, and listen. Allow yourself to just take a breath first. Listen to your intuition, and then type it into the chat. And the 8th person who enters it in will be the first person that we do the reading for. So here is your number. For those of you who are here, share this broadcast if you haven't yet. Invite more people to tune in, and let's get right into our first reading. Thank you again, everyone, for being here. The number I'm giving you is the number 555. So take a second to breathe. When you are ready, type it into the chat, and then I'm going to be paying attention here to be able to determine who the 8th person is who enters this number into the chat across the multiple chats. So allow me to be able to keep my focus nice and strong here as the numbers start coming in, because we got quite a few people tuned in right now. So here they come, and allow me to just pay attention here. All right. Okay, cool. So the first person that we are going to do our reading for is going to be for Nicole Nelson. So Nicole Nelson, who is in the 1111 movement group, thank you so much for being here. And again, for everybody here, like, don't be sad if you aren't chosen, because we are here as a collective and we're kind of taking turns being conduits and facilitating. And I want you to still stay here so that you can contribute your energy to be a part of what it is that we're doing with this guided, with this tarot reading. The guided meditations later tonight. So, all right. So with that said, again, as we're doing this first reading, if you would like to be able to jump the line to be able to be the next person that we do a reading for and add your support to the Patreon, again, check out the Patreon now. It only takes about 3 minutes to sign up. If it's your first time meeting me, no pressure. Like, check it out, and you can always sign up later. And when you sign up later, you can always do a private reading with me. But again, there's a lot of value through the Patreon to be able to help support you. So think of it as like an investment for yourself. Think of it as like a fuck yes to the universe. Like, this is me investing in myself, and this is me, like, again, like, taking those steps towards being a more embodied, like, powerful creator. So we'll keep an eye on the Patreon as we go through this. And again, if we can get a Patreon sign up while we're doing this first reading, then that allows us to just go right into the next reading. So that's our goal, is to have like no downtime, and let's get as many readings as we can in over the next 2 hours before I have to go leave to do work on the meditation tonight. So with that said, Nicole, if you're ready for this reading, let me know in the comments. Just type in "I'm ready," and I'm going to guide you through how we do this. And again, everybody here, I'll give you the instructions as well for how to be able to help us bring forth the message. So that's awesome. All right. Thank you again, everyone. And again, if you're here and you're just like feeling good vibes, drop the 1111s in the chat. All right. Oh, and another quick reminder. When people sign up to the Patreon and they get the next reading on air, you also have the choice between choosing the Ananda Tarot deck or the Lightworker Oracle deck. And the Lightworker Oracle deck is like really, really, really interesting and super, super potent. So we're going to get right into that. If the video's skipping on Facebook, jump over to the YouTube. All right. Okay. 1 second here. Hold on. I'm trying to. There we go. Okay, so the pinned comment is a link for the Patreon. So you can click that and you can jump off and you can get ready to sign up for that. And again, if it's your first time here, when you go to the Patreon, you can subscribe to my Instagram, my YouTube, and all sorts of other cool stuff. For those of you on Instagram, click the link in my bio to tune in on YouTube. And all right, let's get right into this first reading. Again, for those of you who are new, just stick around. You'll get a feel for it. All right, Nicole is ready. So for everybody here, first of all, I just want to acknowledge you for being here. Thank you for showing up. Thank you not just for being a part of this reading. Thank you for doing the work. Thank you for like helping assist with the shift in consciousness. This is again about building a global team of shifters, light guardians, people who are helping assist with the shift in consciousness through acts of creativity and compassion. You are amongst good people. You are amongst good tribe. We're moving into the full moon. Let's ride these waves. Nicole, I invite you in this moment, as well as everyone, take a moment here to just drop into your heart space. So if you want to just close your eyes, put your hand on your chest if you choose. Just take a moment here to just relax, straighten up your spine, take some gentle breaths, and just bring yourself into the space of gratitude, feeling the connection of tribe, of like-hearted people, all of us working together, planting seeds, creating ripples that make waves, working on ourselves, being inspired, awakening within the dream. So as you're in this space of gratitude, Nicole, I want you to focus on the intention of show me what I need to see, or show us what we need to see. I want you to speak this intention with your heart. I want you to speak it with your mind. I want you to speak it with your words. And Nicole, as you are doing this, just take a few more breaths. And when you are ready, type "now" into the chat, and I will split the deck and pull the card for you. And just take a couple more breaths as I charge the deck here. All right, hold on. Nicole's saying that there's no volume right now. I just saw the comments because I had to open up my eyes. Nicole, confirm for me that you can hear me okay. I apologize. A little bit of a hiccup there. Hopefully Nicole can hear me okay. Can everyone drop an 1111 in the chat if you can hear me okay? For those of you tuned in on YouTube and Instagram, it should be fine. Like, there's no reason the audio would have cut out. I'm just double checking. Yeah, see, okay, I don't know why the feed on Facebook is like glitching. I honestly don't know why it's doing that, because it didn't used to do that. But if you want, Nicole, jump over to YouTube. I apologize, everyone. It's not, this is like a technical thing. It's not, I'm not exactly sure why it's glitching like that. So give me 2 seconds here. Nicole, I'm going to post a link for you to be able to jump over to YouTube if you want. In fact, I encourage you to if the Facebook is glitching. And if it's glitching, I apologize. Again, like I'm not exactly sure why it's doing that. I think it's just like a Facebook thing. So watch on YouTube. See, some people can hear me, some people can't. So like it's not like a consistent thing. So all right, so everybody here, if you can hear me, go to my YouTube to be able to tune in and it won't interrupt. I'm not sure why it's doing that. It's a Facebook thing. Like, it's not really within my control. So all right, let me just see here. Okay, I'm gonna try closing a couple things to be able to try and mitigate bandwidth as best as possible. All right, hopefully that fixes it a bit. Anyways, okay, Nicole, I just want to confirm that you are tuned in one way or another, and let me know, Nicole, if you're ready. And again, the audio's coming through. So again, if it's like a glitch, it's kind of beyond my control. But again, if you jump over to the YouTube, it should be fine. Jump over. Sorry about this, everyone. All right, once Nicole's on the YouTube, then we'll get into our first reading. So, okay. Nicole, if you're ready, just confirm for me that you're ready. Again, it's kind of a mix between like the internet on their end plus like the Facebook on my end. So cool. All right, thank you again, everyone, for your comments in the chat. Yo, Elisa, Holly, Erica, one of our Patreon supporters. Chloe, thank you so much for joining in. Bree, thank you so much. Again, we're gonna get right into this first reading. I just want to be able to make sure that technical wise, we're all good. So Nicole, just confirm for me that you're good and that you're ready. And again, we'll get right into this first reading and things will flow smoothly from there. So just kind of waiting for confirmation. So Nicole, if you're ready, let me know in the chat. And we will, again, just kind of like drop into that space again. So Nicole, let me know that you're ready by typing like I'm ready. And then that way I'll know for sure. And then we'll get right into this next reading. So feeling like we're pretty ready. Again, for those of you who are here, please feel free to just drop the 1111s in the chat to make sure that you are tuned into this broadcast and you can hear me okay. All right, Nicole, let's do that again. Inviting you to be able to drop into your heart space. Just be in this moment of gratitude for everybody here, for everybody tuned in here. I want you to, again, visualize all of us here in a circle, just pillars of light, collectively putting our intention together and just being in this space of gratitude. Nicole, as you're in this space of gratitude and joy and excitement, I invite you to speak forth the intention of show me what I need to see, or show us what we need to see. Take a few more breaths here, Nicole. When you're ready, type now into the chat and give me an extra couple moments here as I charge the deck. And so, as we ride the waves into this new day, we will continue to see in which ways we can pave this way. And so as we walk this path hand in hand, let us continue to change this world and the land through the magic of our hearts, through the joy of our art, to be able to help inspire people to see what they too are a part of. Because we are together here as one collective consciousness and we are awaking in the dream. Yes, my friends, it is you and us. And so as we continue to rise together within this story, let us continue to step into new places of glory. And so, with a gentle breath and a confident heart, let us rise up together, for now is the time to take part. And as we wait for Nicole to type now into the chat, charging up the deck to see what message the universe has. Hope you guys like my sound effects. So again, just taking a moment here, waiting for that now in the chat from Nicole, and then we're going to split the deck. We're going to get right into our first reading. There it is. And now we shall see what message the universe has. There we go. All right, let's see what we got here. Charging the card up with the Lumerian Light Guardian Crystal. Ooh, I like this card. All right, so the first card that we are pulling on behalf of Nicole, but again, literally for anybody here, for anybody who's tuned in right now, is Spheres 10. So give me 2 seconds here as I'm going to open up the book. Again, if you're tuned in on Facebook and it's glitching for you, make sure you jump over to YouTube. You can see the link in the top. Like, that's my YouTube channel, Skull Babylon. So make sure that you jump over to that. And thank you again, everyone, for tuning in, for holding space. And again, as we're doing this first reading, setting that intention of getting at least 2 or 3 Patreon signups during this broadcast. And so as we're doing this first reading, if you would like to be able to sign up for the Patreon, which again is an $11 monthly micro contribution, you get a beautiful Lumerian Light Guardian Crystal, access to me as your private conscious media creation coach to support you, and also being able to be involved with the community as a leading member within the Paradigm Shift Central community, which again is like our elite team of conscious creators and leaders. So lots of awesome value there, plus discounts on the shop and other cool stuff. So again, posting the link into the chat. Let us know if you're in the process of signing up to the Patreon, and we're going to get right into this reading. And then again, we'll get right into the next reading as soon as that next Patreon sign up is in place. And so let's do this first one and just focus on that. If the video is skipping on Facebook, let me know. But again, jump over to YouTube because I don't have control over that. So I'm not exactly sure why. I apologize, everyone. All right. Okay. Nicole, if you're still here, just let us know. Let us know that you're still here. I wouldn't want you to like miss out if it's glitching out for you. So, all right. For everyone here, let's focus in on this first card. All right, so visually, what do we got here? Again, for those of you on Instagram, click the link in my bio to tune in on YouTube so you can see properly. Okay, so visually, what do we have here? This is such a powerful image. We have the image of this like giant rock kind of like ceremoniously placed in this very unique position, and then above it there's kind of like this geometrical it's almost like a Star of David, but it's a little bit more kind of like a star tetrahedron up in the sky with 10 spheres kind of at the vertices all around it with a circle, so basically kind of like forming some form of portal. And the spheres are kind of like these like golden, almost greenish spheres. They kind of look like the Dragon Balls, if you ask me. And again, you can kind of see this like very interesting pattern at the base of this rock formation. And yeah, these beautiful landscapes in the background with a bit of a tinge between the horizon line with some birds and the blue sky in the background. So again, that's just a literal interpretation. That's me explaining the card. So let's dive a little bit deeper. I'm going to read from the book. And again, as we're doing this, for those of you who would like to be able to get a reading on air, they are available for people as they sign up to the Patreon, and you can check out more information for the Patreon. And thank you again, everyone, for adding your support. Yes, this is my job. This is like my hustle, and me doing this is all about being able to provide more value for the community. So thank you for honoring the value that we are creating together. All right, let's do this, team. Drop those 1111s while you're tuned in, and let us know that you're here. All right. You ready for this? If you're here, this message is for you. 10 of spheres. The image. Above the form of a massive boulder, as a symbol for concrete results, 10 glowing spheres hover around a center of light. Meaning, like the 9 of spheres, the 10 of spheres also indicates promising circumstances. Unlike the 9 spheres, which express inner realization through artistic creation and the realization of inner values, the 10 of spheres indicates here the pinnacle of material success and the realization of the meaning of life. If in the past communication was attempted between the various elements of mind, soul, and body, now the emphasis is on the basis of the unity of creative thought. Holistic thought and its respective actions are rooted in thoughts of unity, which finally find expression in having acquired riches serve in having the acquired riches serve a higher purpose. The accumulation of wealth indicates stagnation, which does not allow further development that would serve a healthy satisfaction of the meaning of life. At the same time, the investment in projects that have the goal of bringing about the restoration of the whole comes closer to the fulfillment of purpose. In entrusting one's life to the divine, not only is the human taking action, but also the God in man. I'll read that again. Entrusting one's life to the divine, not only is the human taking action, but also the God in man. In this way, he accepts responsibility for his actions. In this sense, the Ten of Spheres indicates a worry-free life. In the awareness that life is a gift, gratitude can be expressed through selfless service. Reread that last part. In the awareness that life is a gift, gratitude can be expressed through selfless service. Astrological significance. Mercury, Jupiter, conjunction, quintile, and opposition aspects. Keywords: realization of life purpose, idealism, growth, sense of aesthetics, completion of form, finding meaning, holistic thinking and action, development of talent, gratitude. Traditional meaning: winnings, balance, sudden windfalls, fullness, pinnacle of well-being, idealistic and materialistic success, riches, fulfillment of wishes, security. So this is a really, really cool card to be able to get. And to be honest, like, it's not a card that I've seen very often. And to be able to receive it now, like, there's elements of this that kind of speak to me. And again, when we do these readings, yes, again, with Nicole being the person who we're helping do the reading for, this message is for everyone. And so the obvious themes within this message is basically talking about the idea of, you know, why do we seek material possessions? Why do we seek material stability? Why do we seek being able to accumulate more wealth in various forms, particularly in like terms of money or resources or food or anything? And so with this card, it's really inviting us to reflect on what is our intention for being able to take those steps towards manifesting more of that wealth, be it in a variety of forms. And I think when we get more clear on our intentions, we allow ourselves to be able to confirm to the universe that we are ready to receive it. Because as this card is stating, the universe doesn't want you to just accumulate wealth for the sake of accumulating wealth. It wants you to be able to accumulate energy so that it can be shared. And that in itself is really the idea behind this, is that wealth is just a word, but essentially it's all energy. And so when we can kind of get into that mindset of just being able to think, you know, like what do I want? Like, it's like, oh yeah, like, okay, yes, I want to be able to pay off my debt and pay my bills and get security. But at the same time, what do I really want? As the spirit within us, we want to be able to be in a position where we can step more into our service. And so this card is really emphasizing the importance of making sure that we're taking care of ourselves so that we can continue to take care of others, so that we can continue to serve. And again, I like the idea here. It says in entrusting one's life to the divine, not only is the human taking action, but also the God in man. And so I think, again, even in this material world, again, like, a lot of people kind of have like this resistance to money. And for some people, again, money can be a very, very painful thing, or wealth in any form can be something that might like kind of like bring up triggers of that sort. But at the same time, I think within every single one of our lives, there is the path which leads us to the abundance we seek. And again, different people are going to be seeking abundance in different forms. It's not always about quote unquote money. It may be about meaningful relationships, about connections that are formulated over years with deep roots. But again, whatever it is that you're seeking that you feel like you don't already have, this card is also reminding us of the fact that the 10 is already in us. The completion of the goals that we seek is already within us. And sometimes just that little message in itself can be inspiring, can be helpful. If we kind of have this idea of thinking like, okay, I'm trying to set out and do this big mission, I'm trying to create this project, I'm trying to accomplish this goal, I'm trying to receive what I'm seeking, instead of just thinking that we're just like tumbling into the unknown through darkness, instead it's being able to understand that from a non-linear perspective, the future that we're working on manifesting already exists. And then in that context, it's more of an idea of aligning with it. And aligning with it is being able to get into the space of humility and being able to check in with ourselves. Because I mean, there's ways to kind of brute force your way through reality and make tons of money and kind of accumulate it, and then eventually that could be a lesson in itself, where again you see that happening with people where they accumulate all of this wealth. I just realized the card was upside down. Where you're accumulating all this wealth, but then they realize that after doing it for like years and years and years, that there's still a part of their soul that is just not filled, that is not served, that is not notably happy. And so I think what we need to be able to do is we need to be able to honor the fact that we have needs, but then to know that our needs are something that we are intentionally filling so that we can continue to show up to serve others. Because the more that you're taken care of, the more that you can take care of others, the more you can assist them, the more you can put your energy towards being able to help others achieve their own accumulation of wealth and desire. And again, not from an egoic place, but in a way of kind of like bringing the resources together to be able to spread them out for the people who need them. And again, like even for myself, like that's like a big thing that I have to relate to and I have to think about in terms of like, okay, here I am like inviting people to support me on Patreon, which again is like a monthly micro contribution. Here it is where it's like, yes, like am I earning quote unquote money? Like, yes, absolutely. But why do I want that? I want it so that it will continue to be something that I can use to help increase more of my global impact, more of my ability to be able to help others. As I accumulate more of as I fill my own cup, I can continue to pour it into the cups of others. And so I think, again, even with this card, we have to be mindful of how much we are giving of ourselves and to make sure that we're not like jeopardizing our own well-being to the point where it just kind of like puts us in a situation where suddenly like we need help. So we need to make sure that, again, like we're finding that balance between like filling our own cup so that we can continue to flow, give the overflow into the cups of others. And so this card, again, is really just kind of saying that, like, yes, if you want to achieve material wealth, if you want to, like, you know, like get money and get things and bring things into your reality, you have that right. And you don't have to feel that just because somebody else says that, like, oh, you know, wealth is bad and money is bad and things like that. It all comes down to your intention of how you choose to relate to it and how you choose to align with it and how you choose to distribute it and share it. If, again, you're just trying, if you're like in this mindset where it's just like, I just want like more money so that I can be a big greedy dragon and sit on my pile of money, the universe may be like, okay, if that's what you want, like, here it is, but with a caveat, like with a bit of a warning, because you're going to get this and eventually it's going to teach you a lesson to show you that that isn't actually what fills your soul. What fills our soul and what fills our purpose is when we share what we have with others. And again, that isn't just material. Like, that's literally our presence. It's our laughter, it's our smile, it's our encouragement, it's our support. And so you are already wealthy. You are already wealthy in your ability to be able to share an endless abundance of compliments, of presence, of praise. Like, think about this. Like, how much, like, again, like, think of, like, you have how many people on your Instagram, on your Facebook, in your network, and just think of the fact that for each person there, if you want to, knowing that time is part of the element here that you have to balance out, you could literally be like, here's a compliment, here's a word of encouragement, here's a kind gesture. And again, that in itself fills them. That gives them a sense of wealth. And so wealth is something that is very subjective. We often measure it in terms of physical things, but wealth is something that we are already rich in. We are rich in an abundance of love, and there is no limit to that. But we have to make sure that we are nurturing ourselves, that we are taking care of our roots so that we can continue to share that, so that we can continue to pour that out. So for all of us who are working on, like earning money and paying off things and finding that security and finding that stability, release the shame. You're allowed to do that. That's actually part of your spiritual journey, because in the process of you doing this, you're actually practicing getting better at manifesting things. Like, that's kind of one of the ways you can think of it. It's like, oh, this isn't actually like, it's not just me trying to like make money. This is actually proving how good I am at manifesting and creating like, like what it is that I desire. But making sure, this is the important thing, making sure that you're checking in with yourself and doing it from a humble place, from an altruistic place. Make sure that you're not just trying to like accumulate more wealth as a way to be able to escape, as a way to be able to band-aid wounds that you aren't paying attention to, as a way to just be able to numb yourself and not deal with the responsibilities that you have. Those will kind of like yield their own lessons. But if you're just like, yo, I want to be successful and I want to be influential and I want to be able to like manifest power for myself so that I can help others, so that I can help others tap into their own power, so that I can help others tap into their own abundance, so that together we as a team can continue to uplift. So again, I think this card for you, Nicole, is again just like a great card that invites us to be able to acknowledge the wealth that we already have, to be able to align with the gratitude of simply being in this moment, and then to be able to set our intentions on the future and get really clear on what it is that we want to manifest for ourselves, while still being open to the many possibilities in which it can come, and being flexible because maybe there's another way to do it instead of the way that we've been trying to do it. Look for the path of least resistance, the law of efficiency, so to speak, and to be able to move forward from that place of centeredness and altruism and service. And so that is why we are here. We are here to be able to serve, and through our ability of accumulating what it is that we desire, it allows us to be able to step more into our life purpose. And again, if you don't feel like you need to like acquire a bunch of material things, that's okay. Like, it's literally a choice. But make sure that you're not shaming yourself for being able to say, yes, I would love to make $10,000 a month. Like, some people say yes to that. Some people are like, no, it's not for me. It's okay. But make sure that you're checking in with yourself and you're just kind of like really being as virtuous as you can in your intentions. Do you plan on just like sitting on that money and doing nothing with it and feeling good about yourself? Or do you want to be able to use that as a platform to be able to increase your impact, spread the good karma around, and be able to help assist others and lift up the entire team? So wrapping up this, keywords: realization of life purpose, idealism, growth, sense of aesthetics, completion of form, finding meaning, holistic thinking and action, development of talent, gratitude. So again, I think gratitude is a great card, a great message for us to be able to focus on here. And again, traditional meanings: winnings, balance, fullness, pinnacle of well-being, idealistic, material success, riches, fulfillment of wishes, security. So this is a very interesting card. It's very unlike some of the other cards that we have. And again, I think it is a card that really just kind of like invites us to reflect on our intentions in terms of being able to, like humbly seek what it is that we desire, because you are worthy of it, because you fully are worthy of it. And don't be afraid to ask for help either. You're not in this alone. And invest in yourself. Learn from others, invest in coaches, go to programs, learn about things that are going to help you get better at attracting what it is that you seek. You don't have to do this alone by any means. So very, very cool card. And again, with the fact that it's a 10, the 10 is again like the idea of like moving into that next chapter, moving into that next stage. So if you don't feel like you're like at that new chapter just yet, allow this card to be kind of like a little bit of like that inspiration, just to invite yourself to, what do you want to feel like as you enter into that new chapter? And that new chapter can begin as soon as you feel that you're ready. And you can move into that chapter again with that knowing that the desires that you seek, the fulfillment that you seek, the accumulation that you seek, you're already connected to it. And if you can feel that now, Like, again, this is like some basic law of attraction stuff. If you can feel, like, for example, for me, I'm working on being able to like manifest the apartment that I want. And part of that is through like the work that I'm doing right now and the support that people are supporting me with through Patreon, and being able to create this like this way of income that's very outside of the traditional matrix. But again, for me, it's not just like, oh, I hope I get that apartment. It's like already feeling it right now, and I can feel it. I literally can. I can feel myself like in that apartment because that reality already exists. Time in a non-linear sense, it's already there. And knowing that whatever it is that you're seeking, it is seeking you. It is already there, and you have to meet the universe halfway. You have to do the work. You have to show up, but you can do so with inspiration, clarity, and humility, knowing that you are already connected to that which you desire. So very, very cool card. Again, 10 of Spheres, for all the people out there who are working on manifesting their desires. I think this is a very powerful card, and just again, reminding you that you are worthy. And again, your humility will allow you to be able to like receive even more of what the universe is giving you. The universe will give you what you are ready for. So speak onto the universe and let it know that you are ready by doing the inner work first. So if that resonates with you, drop an 1111 in the chat. Let me know if that's a little message that was just something that you're just like, oh, sweet. Okay, cool. Like that helps. Maybe that was something I need to hear. Maybe it shifted my paradigm a bit. And again, I just want to express my like support and my gratitude and my well wishes and my confidence in what it is that you are doing right now, because your journey is important. Equally as important as mine and of theirs, and it's hers and it's his. It is all equally important, and it is all soul growth. So again, your challenges, your triggers are your teachers, and allow yourself to rise through the challenges that are here and allow them to show you how strong and how flexible and how determined you are, and remind yourself that you can always ask for help when need be. You're never alone. So this is the 10 of Spheres, just answering the question in the chat for those of you who jumped in a little bit late. Yeah, and Nicole, thank you for sharing your comment. Nicole's just asking for people to like send them good vibes. And Nicole, again, you know, like even in a situation like that, again, like I think like in a situation like that, there is like going to be like a lot of room for healing to take place, but there's also a lot of empowerment that can come out of it. Again, know who you are regardless of whether what did or did not happen in the past. Again, I think like out of this, you will find like a new way of kind of like of stepping into your power. You're not the only person who's gone through a thing like this, and I invite you to like again be able to just kind of like work on still being able to release animosity and still be able to hold love. And I'm not talking too personally too much on what your comment is about, just out of respecting the privacy of the topic. But again, Nicole, you 100% will be able to continue to rise through this, and let your story be more than just your story. Let your story be a story of empowerment, and what you desire, you will attract. And there's 100% like other people out there who acknowledge your value and your gifts. So know that the party that like there is already a party with your name on it, and feel that party now and own that. And again, your job is just to work on yourself, and then over time that will attract like that next person, that next partner, that next like thing that you're moving into. Again, Nicole, like if you can choose to see it from this way, like this too is there to be able to help make you stronger and to be able to help you love in more deeper ways. Yes, there is healing to be done, but again, the healing in itself is not just your heart breaking, but it's breaking open. It's opening up, and allow that to be something that will give you more empathy, both for yourself, for others, and allow you to just continue to step into your power. 100%, Nicole. Like I am fully confident of your ability to be able to keep moving forward. Take whatever time you need, no rush. Pay attention to your needs. Take time to go inwards, but know that by you stepping outwards, it's sending like a very powerful signal to the universe. And so when you're ready to do that, do it. And fucking own it, and keep taking those steps, and keep taking those baby steps, and keep connecting with people who acknowledge like what it is that you're creating, because you are 100% worthy. So just kind of speaking to Nicole there. All right. I apologize again if the video is skipping on Facebook. Again, I don't know why it does that, but if it is skipping on Facebook, please join over on YouTube so that you can tune in there. All right, so with that said, Nicole, let us know in the comments if how this resonates with you, if you got some like additional inspiration out of that, and for anybody else, drop those 1111s in the comments as well, and I'll read a couple of those on air as well. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Nicole, for being here, for taking part. Again, sorry, I'm just kind of reading the comments on YouTube. I don't read like every single thing. Yes, abundance overflows your cup into the saucer below the cup. And thank you, Mark. Thank you for the 1111s, everyone. Gratitude. Absolutely. Awesome. Thank you, Holly. And thank you again, everyone. Cool. Awesome. Sweet. Okay, cool. All right. So with that said, team, we're going to get right into our next reading as soon as we have a new Patreon sign up. And we're currently just hanging tight for that. So if it is your first time here and you would like to be able to sign up for a reading, go ahead and check out our Patreon. But again, if you're familiar with the content that we are doing and you enjoyed that first reading and you want to be able to connect further with me, then go ahead and again, sorry, if you're familiar and you've already like been here before and maybe you feel like you're ready to sign up for the Patreon, now is a great time to be able to do it. So let's work on getting 2 Patreon signups during this broadcast, and again, we'll just kind of like hang tight for a couple minutes. And again, even if we can just get like, if we can get like 2 Patreon signups right away, then that means that we don't have to like stop between readings and we can get right into the next readings. I'll do my best to keep an eye on the comments. Again, Facebook was kind of glitching, so for those of you in my personal Facebook feed, I'm just going back to read some of the comments there. Aloha Illuminanda, aloha Michelle, aloha Dawn and Lindsay and Alexis. Thank you again, everyone, for adding your support. Thank you, Rowena, for sharing this to various groups. If there are people who are tuned in from various groups, it's possible that I may not be seeing your chat. So again, if you go to youtube.com/SkullBabylon, you can join in there. So aloha Fire Sign, welcome and thank you so much for joining in. For those of you who are in the 1111 group, drop a sorry, hold on, why is this not working there? There we go. Okay, drop an 1111 in the comments on the 1111 movement group. Let me know that you're still tuned in. Again, I think it's a little glitchy, so like I'm not exactly sure if people are fully able to access the chat or not. For those of you tuning in on Instagram, you can go ahead and click the link in my bio to be able to join in on YouTube. And again, we're just kind of hanging tight right now as we wait for our first Patreon sign up of the day. So again, signing up on Patreon is a way to be able to help invest in the work that I'm doing for the community, to be able to help support a community of conscious creators and leaders. Again, I've been creating conscious media for like over 10 years. Oh, and Nicole, send me a direct message if you want me to send you a picture of this card, and I can like do that and send you the write-up. And that goes for anybody. If you want me to send you the image of this card plus the write-up, just send me a direct message over Facebook or Instagram, wherever you're tuned in right now. And so again, for those of you who may be here for the first time, by signing up to the Patreon, it's a monthly micro contribution. The asking amount is $11 or higher. It's literally a sliding scale. We keep it super affordable. It's literally more of a sliding scale between $11 and like $1,000. And again, that gives you access to me as your conscious media creation coach. It gives you the ability to get some beautiful Lumerian light guardian crystals, which you can see here. And again, these in themselves, like they're like worth like almost like $100, and these are handmade items that we make within the project by me. And you can also join as a leading member within the community, which allows you to be a part of our Synergy Circle broadcast for conscious leaders, and to also be able to have private access to our team chat, and again, just to be able to be in that community of support. So if you're looking for that next level of community, definitely sign up for the Patreon, take a look at it, explore more of the work that I've been doing, and sign up when you can. So for anybody here, if you're interested, if you're thinking about signing up for the Patreon, go ahead, let me know, and we'll get right into our next reading again as soon as we have our first new Patreon sign up for the day. So for those of you who are here, we got quite a few regulars. Thank you again, everyone, for joining in. Aloha to, again, those of you who may be new, and thank you, Illuminanda, again, for leaving your comments. So, all right. Again, I'm not 100% sure if the chat on the 1111 movement group is kind of glitched out or not. I think it is. Like the video keeps skipping there, and then like people can't comment or something. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure why it does that, but nonetheless, aloha, Allison. Thanks for joining in again. And just liking some of the comments there. All right, team. So again, I have until about 3 p.m. tonight. I'm ready to be able to jump into our next reading as soon as we have our first new Patreon supporter signed up. So if you are ready to be able to sign up for the Patreon, go ahead and do that. It only takes about 3 minutes. And again, even for those of you who may already be on the Patreon, if you want to update your pledge, meaning you want to increase it even just by like a few dollars, that's also an option to be able to spark the next reading. So we'll get right into the next reading as soon as we are ready as a community. Awesome. Aloha. Thank you, Michelle, for tuning in from Quebec. Yo, go Team Canada. That's awesome. I'm in Ontario, Canada. I'm in London, Ontario, Canada, just to confirm. Michelle says, Michelle wants to sign up. Thank you, Michelle. Please feel free to check that out. And again, when you sign up, like we keep things really, really affordable. So if people are thinking about signing up and you want to be able to contribute more, again, like kind of going back to the card, like seriously, if you're sitting on a bunch of money and you want to be able to say like, yo, Brendan, I really like what you're doing. And like, here's a way of me like voting for you. And so that we can continue to transform that money into further inspiration and impact, please, by all means, contribute what you are comfortable with. It is all equally appreciated. Like seriously, if someone signed up for like $500, it would be equally appreciated for someone who signs up at any amount. So again, it's all relative, and I just respect and really appreciate like everyone simply for being here. And I appreciate, like seriously, support in all forms is appreciated. So for you listening, for those of you tuning in, for those of you commenting and liking, your support is equally appreciated as well. So thank you, team. All right. Aloha, Paul. Paul's okay. Paul, that's Paul on the computer. Thanks, Paul. All right. All right, team. So again, let's get right into that next reading as soon as we can. As soon as we have that first new Patreon person signed up. And again, I only have until 3 p.m. today, so I'd love to be able to get at least 2 more readings in, which would include having 2 new Patreon supporters signed up. So if you're ready to be able to sign up, please feel free to do that. And again, that helps support the entire community and helps initiate the next reading for the team. So, so again, if there's anybody who feels like they're ready to sign up in the chat, please feel free to leave those comments and let us know. And Michelle, absolutely, thank you again for just like hanging out and being here. We've been doing these broadcasts for quite some time, and again, like when we do these, yeah, it's awesome to get the feedback from people. Sweet. For those of you tuning in on Twitch, thank you as well for tuning in on Twitch. For those of you tuning in on Instagram, you can click the link in my bio to be able to tune in on YouTube as well. All right, team. So like I said, we'll get right into that next reading as soon as we have our first Patreon sign up for today. And again, when you sign up, you can also choose the Lightworker Oracle deck as well as an option. So again, you're not just signing up for a reading. That's like a big part of the bonus. But you're also like being able to get lots of other cool elements and rewards by signing up. So if anybody has any questions in general, please feel free to let me know. And again, for anybody who's already signed up for the Patreon, and if you want to update your Patreon amount, absolutely, that's totally an option as well. So, and we currently have like probably about like 30 people tuned in, so I appreciate everybody being here, and I'm definitely eager to be able to get into that next reading as soon as we are ready. And it looks like Facebook's kind of glitching too. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and like this video if you haven't already yet. Yo, Rakesh, thanks for joining in, dude. And Serpent, thanks for joining in as well. If you click the link in my bio, you can tune in on YouTube. All right, team. So again, if you're ready to sign up for the Patreon, leave a comment in the chat. Let us know. It only takes about 3 minutes to sign up. And again, when you sign up on there, you're supporting me, you're supporting the team, and you're supporting yourself. So it's a really, really cool investment, especially if you are a conscious media creator. So, all right, team. Let's see. All right. Aloha to those of you tuning in on Instagram. We're just standing by for our first Patreon sign up of the day to be able to instigate the next reading, to be able to begin the next reading. So again, if you're here and you're tuned in and you would like to be able to be a part of the next reading, they are available for people as they sign up onto the Patreon. And when you sign up onto the Patreon, you get all sorts of cool rewards and perks. And yeah, thank you again, everyone, for hanging out. I'm trying not to just like repeat myself every 5 minutes either. So cool. All right. All right, team. Aloha to Haroline. So Haroline, we did do one reading right off the top for someone in the chat, and then additional readings are available for people as they choose to sign up to the Patreon, which I have. And again, Patreon is a website where people can support artists they like with monthly micro contributions. And so, again, with my Patreon, you can get all sorts of cool, awesome rewards, including a beautiful Lemurian Light Guardian crystal. And again, to be able to have access to me as a private conscious media creation coach, to be able to be involved with the Paradigm Shift Central community as a leading member. So if you're brand new, go ahead and check out the Patreon, and you can always sign up at a later date as well. And yeah, and so thank you again, everyone. Let's hear. All right. Okay, cool. All right, we do have a new Patreon sign up from Michelle. All right, Michelle, thank you so much for signing up, for adding your support. Michelle has signed up at the $5 level on the Patreon, so thank you so much, Michelle. Again, thank you for contributing an amount that you are comfortable with. It is absolutely all equally appreciated, so thank you so much, Michelle. All right, so with that said, let's get right into our next reading. And again, as we do this next reading, we'll get ready for another reading as we have another person sign up to the Patreon. And again, that way so we can just kind of like mitigate any sort of downtime and get right into this. Because again, I'd love to do... we may have time to do 3 readings. Again, I have to leave at 3 o'clock because I have to go get ready for our live meditation tonight, which is our special full moon meditation. And Michelle, your name is now up on screen. So thank you to our recent supporters, Michelle, Deirdre, Eric, and Rona. So with that said, we are going to get right into our next reading. Michelle, let me know if you would like the Ananda Tarot deck or the Lightworker Oracle deck. And so everybody here, let's see. Let's see if, again, just, what was I going to say? Oh, wow, weird. I don't know. What was I saying there? I forget. All right. Anyways, I'm not exactly sure. But nonetheless, let's get right into our next reading, and let's see what message the cards have. Let's see what inspiration comes through. So for those of you tuning in on Facebook, please feel free to share this broadcast with your friends. And we're getting right into our next reading for Michelle, our newest Patreon supporter. So, oh yeah, now I remember what I was going to say. Yeah, everyone, just give a thank you to Michelle. So thank you to Michelle. Michelle, I really want you to choose. So the Lightworker Oracle deck is kind of like more specific in some senses, and the Ananda Tarot deck is, again, this is like a tarot deck. This one's more of an oracle deck. This one obviously directly relates to Lightworker themes, which is pretty much everyone tuned into this. And again, this one can kind of get like a little bit more like kind of like symbolic and stuff like that. This one's like really kind of straightforward. So whatever one you choose, Michelle, I do want you to choose. It's your option. All right, I'm going to restart the broadcast on Instagram before we jump into this. So stand by Instagram, click the link in my bio to tune into YouTube, and I'm going to restart this broadcast real quick. All right, so restarting the broadcast on Instagram. The reason why I have to restart the broadcast on Instagram is because the feeds only allow you to go for 1 hour. All right, Michelle is choosing the Lightworker Oracle deck. I had a feeling that they would choose that. All right, 2 seconds here. Let me just restart things. So again, I just invite everybody to get nice and ready for this next reading. And again, to be able to express our gratitude for Michelle for adding their support. And again, let's as we're doing this, let's get another Patreon sign up ready so that we can go right into one more reading, maybe 2 more readings before I have to head out. So, all right, 2 seconds here, just restarting the broadcast.
All right, it's 111.
Yes, it is 111. All right. Okay. And welcome back, Instagram. And oh, that didn't work. Here we go.
Live back on Instagram.
Okay, now is it working? All right, we are live on Instagram once again. For those of you tuning in on Instagram, go ahead and click my bio link to be able to watch on YouTube with the rest of the crew. And from there, you can get the primary camera angle. We're just about to get into our next reading for our newest Patreon supporter, Michelle. But again, the way how we do the readings here is like literally for everyone, for the collective. So thank you again, everyone, for being here, for adding your support. We're going to do a reading for the Lightworker Oracle deck. So, Michelle, your first time here. Thank you so much for adding your support. That really means a lot to be able to have people who are like literally tuning in for the first time and to be like, yo, like, I like what this guy's doing. Like, I like the vibes, I like the intention, and I want to be a part of this. I want to be able to be a part of this party, and you are a part of this party, literally just by tuning in. So awesome. And speaking of, just want to give another quick huge thank you. We did just get another Patreon sign up who signed up for Haroline. Thank you so much, Haroline. I know you're in the Facebook chat, so stand by there. And we're going to do this first reading for Michelle, and then we'll do the next reading for you, Haroline, who signed up at the $5 level. So thank you, Haroline. I'm just going to update the on-screen information there to be able to express our gratitude there. And and just to confirm, with the Patreon, the contributions only process on the 1st of each month, and I'm very, very flexible with things. Like, I understand that life happens, so at any point, if you need to put your contribution on hold, that's totally cool. That's totally cool, not a problem at all. And again, even if before the end of the month, if anybody wants to adjust their Patreon pledge, if they want to increase it, if they want to decrease it, absolutely. Again, whatever form of support you are comfortable with is equally appreciated. So, Haroline, thank you so much for your support. Let's get right into this first reading for Michelle, and then we're going to get right into the next reading for Haroline, who is on the Facebook chat. And Haroline, just let me know that you're still in the Facebook chat. They may be jumping back to the chat in a second here. So we'll keep an eye open for Haroline as they jump into the chat. And thank you again, everyone. That's super, super awesome to be able to get 2 Patreon signups during this broadcast. All right. Michelle, if you are ready, let us know in the chat, and we will get into this next reading. And again, the way how we do this is that, yes, it is like working with a person helping be the conduit, but it's also like a collective reading. So if you're here, this message is for you. So Michelle, let us know that you're ready in the chat, and we'll get right into this next reading. So even for you, Haroline, this message is for you too. So everyone gets like a message out of this. So that's a really cool way how we do it. So Michelle, if you are ready, inviting you, just type you're ready into the chat. You're ready. Okay, perfect. Inviting you to just be able to drop into that space of gratitude. So just inviting everybody here to just close your eyes just for a minute. Oh, my button's crooked. Hold on, I'm going to adjust my button. This is one of the shift buttons that you can get from the shop, which you have a discount for now that you're a Patreon supporter. So, all right, Michelle. Ooh, my voice. Ooh. Okay. All right. Everybody here, just relax. Close your eyes. Straighten your spine. And bring yourself into the space of gratitude. Put your hand on your chest, on your heart. And just again, feeling this connection of like-minded, like-hearted people coming together. And even if this moment, if you gently want to practice Smile asana, where you gently take the corners of your mouth and lift them towards your ears. Yes, it's a smile. That's exactly what you're doing. And then you can put in a little bit of giggle asana in there if you want, just like a little bit of giggle breath work. Gentle breaths. Michelle, inviting you to speak the intention of show me what I need to see, or show us what we need to see. Speak it with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words. Take a few more breaths here, Michelle, and for everybody here, just hold that intention. Show us what we need to see. Take a couple breaths here, Michelle. When you're ready, type now into the chats, and I'm just going to charge the deck just for another moment longer. And so as the sun continues to shine each and every single time, let it hold up as a mirror for us to see what is oh so fine within this reality, within this dream, within the rivers and the many streams. For the colors of the wind are delicious. Can you taste them, my friend? To be able to be amongst the forests and to dance this dance. And as Michelle types now into the chat, we shall split the deck and see what message the universe has. So there we go. All right. Let me see. I'm just grabbing, which Light Guardian crystal do I want? Grab the purple one. I've got like a bunch of them just like sitting next to me, right? All right. Okay. The card that we have pulled on behalf of Michelle for the team, our newest Patreon supporter, is number 30, Dark Angel. All right, let's see. I'm going to open up the book. And again, this deck, I've explained this before, this deck is still like very new to me. So a lot of like the cards in here, I have actually not read them yet. So even for this card, this is new to me. So we're actually getting to read this together, which is really, really exciting. All right, as we're doing this reading, again, if anybody is feeling the call to sign up for the Patreon, please do so while we're doing this reading, and then we can get right into the next reading after this one. The next one will be for Haroline, and then the next reading will be for the next person who signs up. And again, even if we run out of time, I can do a private one-on-one reading with you as well. So let's take a look at this card. And yeah, again, with any of the messages, like it's my intention to always be able to put like an intentional, positive, inspiring perspective on the card. So this one will be interesting, right? Because again, like look at the title of this card. Literally, it's called Dark Angel. So I'm interested to see the positive message that we'll be able to extract from this. So thank you again, everyone, for being here, and let's take a look at this card, and we'll dive deeper into the reading in a second. For those of you on Instagram, click the link in my bio to tune in on YouTube. Dark Angel, number 30. So visually, what do we have? We have this image. It appears to be a male figure, kind of like grasping their shoulder, grasping their arm, and maybe like their face doesn't look like it's in pain. It actually looks like very peaceful. And their hair is kind of blowing off to the side. They have these like beautiful wings kind of like sprouting off their back. These rich, dark red colors and this illumination kind of coming from around them, almost like a flame. Just kind of like they're a candle in a sense. And yeah, just like a really kind of like somber posture, almost as if they're just kind of like reflecting in that moment. So let's dive a little bit deeper and see what message this card has. Again, for those of you who are in the Instagram chat, or sorry, the Facebook chat, readings are available for people as they sign up for the Patreon. Quick note, for anybody who's in the chat, if you see other people asking like, hey, how do I get a reading? And I'm in the middle of talking, please feel free to let them know. So like, say for example, Lindsay, if someone's like in there, please feel free to let them know. You can just be like, yo, like, yeah, like if you sign up for the Patreon, you can get a reading. So all right, so let's focus on this reading, and we're going to go through this one, and then we'll get right into another reading for our next Patreon supporter. So here we go. Everyone pay attention, and again, just listen. Michelle, this card is for you, but again, if you are here, this message is for you. All right. Thanks, Lindsay. Okay, let's drop into this. Number 30, Dark Angel. The Dark Angel comes to you with a radical truth. Divine love is always there for you without exception. Love will never forget you. It will never stop caring for you, even when it seems unlikely. In fact, especially then, the divine is reaching for you and nurturing you. Even our wounds are ways we can discover love and divine grace through the healing process. The divine is always helping you remember who you are and find your true joy. When the dark angel appears, you are being given a gift of light, even if it may seem to be a hidden blessing. A dark mystery is one that helps us learn that even if things don't seem to be working out according to the timing of the methods that we believe necessary, the light and love of spirit are unfailing. If a door is closed in your face, it is the wrong door for you. Ooh, I'm going to reread that part. I feel like that's a thing we probably all need to hear. If a door is closed in your face, it is the wrong door for you. Divine love will ensure that the right doors open at the right time. When you encounter darkness, how you respond can make either the dark or the light victorious. You can choose doubt and fear, or you can force the darkness to serve the light by choosing trust and faith. Wow, that's powerful. I'm going to reread that. You can choose doubt and fear, or you can force the darkness to serve the light by choosing trust and faith. You are spiritually advanced enough to trust unconditionally. That is the trust that burns bright, not only when things appear good, but even when your mind thinks things seem to be heading in the wrong direction. Does unconditional trust mean that you give up if things get tough, assuming it's not quote unquote meant to be? Of course not. Relying on unconditional trust and understanding the dark mystery, you are willing to go through periods of not knowing. You are willing to continue on your path even when you are not seeing immediate results, because in your heart you know it's right. This type of trust is powerful enough to release any separation between you and the universe. You know that. Even when the universe guides you into challenging territory, you shall benefit, grow in divine power, and become the amazing being you are destined to be. If this resonates with anyone, drop the 1111s as we're still reading this. Praying to the beautiful dark angel and writing, drawing, dancing your feelings or dialogue with your dream images. You can work through the pain of a challenging time and grow in wisdom. What matters is that you honestly express the depth of your suffering. Then, when you are ready, acknowledge that the experience has helped you grow. As we realize how we have grown through the experience, turning what was once a source of pain into a spiritual light, we masterfully transform our deepest pain into our greatest growth and spiritual accomplishments. We become true spiritual alchemists, releasing light from darkness. As you learn to put faith in love, as you learn to put more faith in love than in fear, your trust becomes increasingly unconditional, and you find the light even through the dark. In this way, you become initiated into the mystery of the dark angel. Then you can show others that it is possible. I'm going to reread that. In this way, you become initiated in the mystery of the dark angel. Then you can show others that this is possible. You can help heal others from victim consciousness and show them that inner peace is possible, even when they are facing unpredictable twists and turns of life. If you have been going through a difficult time or struggling to heal an issue, the dark angel promises that even through the depths of despair, you shall find the light. In your own time, you will rise again into trust and restored faith and hope. All will be well. And then there's an invocation here, which we'll read at the end. So, wow, let me just take a quick sip here. What a powerful card. I feel like this is a card that everyone should be dropping the 11 and 11s on. It's like, hey, like, what's that? Like, if you're here on Earth, then this is a card that will relate to you. Because again, I think with this card, it's really hitting home the lesson that as spirit, we came here to be able to transmute darkness. That was a part of our agreement. That was a part of our journey. And that in itself is equally as beautiful as the rest of it. This idea of understanding that all is love. And so again, you know, like, we came here, the universe, literally, like, we are here not just to quote unquote be happy, but the universe is here to evolve our consciousness. And so how do you grow something? How do you get stronger? How do you build muscles? You build muscles by creating resistance, by creating discomfort, by creating dis-ease, by being able to tear things open so that more light can come through. Exactly, Allison, I literally just saw your comment as I said that. The wound is where the light comes through. And so with this card, it's really inviting us, Michelle, everyone listening to this, to really honor our strength and to honor the gift of the darkness that we may be going through, because there's always two sides to it. And it really comes down to a choice. It comes down to a choice on how you choose to relate to your story. And so with this card, it's really, really reminding us that our ability to move through darkness is something that can be shared. It's something that we can pass on to others, because the fact is everyone will go through it. And if your mission is here to help people, which it is, if your mission is here to help heal the planet, which it is, the only way for us to be able to heal the planet is by healing ourselves. And how many times do we go through this lesson of humility when we sometimes kind of like have something taken away from us that perhaps we were never really fully grateful for before? How many people have gone through an experience where it's like, you know, like, I never realized how important my health was to me until I started going through health issues. And they'll say to people, they're like, you know, like, kid, you got it good. Like, you have it so good right now, and appreciate that. Be grateful for it, and celebrate it and be in that joy. And so again, I think even in itself, again, you know, this card, like, we go through dark periods throughout all of our life. It's literally something where it's a cadence, it's a wave, and it's learning how to ride this. And it's being able to understand that just because things are good doesn't mean that things will become unexpectedly quote unquote bad, but it's how we choose to relate to them when they make that turn, when things move in that direction. And can you still have gratitude? Can you still have gratitude for the darkness that you may be going through, because you're able to see the lessons within it, because you're able to acknowledge that it in itself is a teacher. It in itself, I love this part of the idea that this type of trust is powerful enough to release any separation between you and the universe. You know that even when the universe guides you into a challenging territory, you shall benefit, grow in divine power, and become the amazing being you are destined to be. So again, sometimes it's in those moments of like depth and despair and darkness that we actually become like closer to God, closer to godness, because like it's like this, like you get like the membrane is like so thin. And you'll hear that from people who have kind of like been in those moments of like either just like deep surrender, but also deep surrender into trust as well. And that's such a powerful thing that I think we as mature spiritual beings, and I'm not trying to like compare things here, but again, for those of us who are tuned into this broadcast, we have a level of maturity to us. And what I mean by that is essentially experience. And anybody who goes through experience will develop maturity over time. But that maturity gives us the advantage of choosing how we see things. Because we have this choice of knowing, again, kind of like this non-linear understanding of how the world works, of how reality works, that just because you're going through something dark now, it doesn't mean it will stay that way. It doesn't mean that that's it. That's the end. This is your life now. It's something that, again, goes like a breath. up and down, in and out, back and forth. And if you can trust, if you can begin to like see the hope even in the midst of darkness, if you can see it as a catalyst to be able to help evoke more gratitude, then that in itself is a gift. Like how many times, you know, like again, and I'm not trying to get like too specific here, but let's say for example, like there's like some sort of relationship that you have with someone else, and then suddenly that person like suddenly like comes down with something that may be like a sickness or something like that. And because of that sickness, it actually brings you closer together. It brings you into more of their presence, and it lets you be incredibly like just like with them in that moment. And that in itself is a gift. And let that be inspiration, so that with any of the relationships that you have, that you just practice being more present, that you practice expressing more gratitude. Again, I think that's why we go through the darkness, because it helps bring us back to gratitude. It helps bring us back to understanding how fortunate we truly are. And again, I think some people have a hard time seeing this because they don't really have the full spiritual perspective. They can't separate the darkness, like the darkness and the light are kind of like two separate things. Things are either good or bad. The reality is that there's always good in the bad and there's bad in the good. But again, it's the maturity of our spirit and the understanding of kind of why things happen the way they do, to teach, to grow, to help us expand, to deepen our ability to love, that we can begin to trust, that we can begin to have gratitude for the process, that we can begin to be able to celebrate our ability to move through it. And so again, you know, like this is a very, very powerful card that I think we can all relate to. And again, just to be able to like honor both sides of the story, both sides of life, but to be able to remind ourselves to be able to like be present with the darkness, to seek what it is like teaching you, to ask questions and be like, what is this here? Like, how is this here to serve me? How is this helping me? How is this, again, like helping me bring more presence into my life? How is this actually helping me bring more gratitude into my life? How is this something that is going to create more empathy so that I can assist others? Because of what you've gone through, you have that ability for your story to be a beacon and for others to be able to know that if you can do it, they can do it too. And so that's why, again, for all the people who have been victims of things, this is a great way to be able to reflect on how your story of hardship, of trauma, yet also the rise and the rehabilitation and the healing is a story of championship, is a story of like moving back into reclaiming your power, and to know that there is always hope that is there to be shared. And if there is things that you have gone through that have been hard things, that have been traumatic things, that have been unpleasant things, you have only gone through them because you are strong enough to carry them, because you are strong enough to transmute them. And I've said this message before, but I really just want to say this here, and then we'll get into the invocation, is that, again, you are a brave soul. If you're going through hard things, that does not mean the universe is picking on you. That means that you are brave because those things, those experiences are something that you as a soul have chosen to transmute on behalf of the collective. So again, for all of the women out there who have like had to put up with, again, you know, like things related to, again, like trauma and things like that, men and women, again, you're going through that not because you're a victim of the universe, but because you're a champion of healing. I want you to understand that. I want you to like really sit with that, because literally me just saying that in yourself to you right now can literally shift the paradigm. Like, I know people who have suddenly just like had that little bit, there's like, oh my goodness, like, whoa, like boom, suddenly like my whole story is a little bit different now. And I can see it. I can see the fact that I'm a champion of healing. I can see the fact that I'm a champion of empowerment. And so when you move through it with love, when you move through it with confidence and with hope, that sends out a fucking powerful signal that the world needs. And so what you're transmuting, what you're healing, you're not just transmuting it for you. You're literally transmuting it for the collective. So the work that we do, the darkness that we go through, is literally you like doing it for the collective. So thank you. From one soul to another, thank you for being the brave soul you are to walk through the darkness, to be able to transmute it, and to be able to share that message of hope, so that when there are others who may be lost in the darkness, you can be that beacon, you can be that light, you can help them find their way back. And they were never lost, but part of our journey is actually to help other people. Like, there are other people who will need your help, like, and in the same way you might need someone else's help. And so keep your eyes open to that. Send that intention out to the universe and just be like, where is my help needed? Where is my story needed? How can my story be a beacon for someone else? And so when you set that intention, it will begin to reveal itself, and then you will begin to find purpose, more so than perhaps what you did in the past. Because suddenly, down the road, it may take time, there will be a part of you that will be able to say, I am grateful for what I went through because it gave me the depth of empathy and experience to be able to help others in a way I never would have been able to if I hadn't gone through that. Because if I hadn't gone through that, I'd still be able to help, but I wouldn't be able to fully get into the depth of knowing. I'd be able to relate, but maybe I'd be talking out of my ass a bit. But because you've gone through it, you have a very, very, very important story. And it's not just about suffering, it's about healing. It's about being a champion of healing and of hope and of resilience. So thank you for being resilient. So again, very, very powerful card. If this is resonating with you, drop those 1111s in the chat. Again, I think this is a card that everyone can benefit from hearing, because you do not go through this life without being able to like face the darkness. And so again, as gray Jedis, as light guardians, let us honor the darkness. We don't have to say like, hey darkness, like let's come party with me. But again, when it shows up, you kind of just be able to like sit with it and just be like, okay, like, hello darkness, my old friend, like what are we here to learn today? Like, it shows up as a teacher, right? So when you give it that acknowledgement, it will be able to like give you that gift in return, and it takes away kind of like the back and forth battle, and again it becomes more of a symbiosis, and it allows you to move forward as the alchemist that you are. Thank you for dropping those 1111s in the chat. I can see this is definitely one that resonates with people. So even Michelle, let us know how this resonates with you. I saw one of your comments there up a little bit further, Michelle. Michelle basically saying, I fear no evil. Beautiful, Michelle. I went through the worst and I'm coming out with love. Michelle, that's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Absolutely. I'm going to read the invocation here. Again, as I'm reading this, please feel free to leave your comments down below. And again, I'll as we're doing this, I can read the comments on air if you type them in the chat. So, okay. As I'm reading this invocation, imagine that this is you speaking it to yourself. So, listen closely. Invocation. I call upon the wisdom of unconditional love, that I may be empowered to see the true light within everything and everyone, including that which holds the outward appearance of darkness. I honor the truth that darkness serves a purpose, and I treat it always as an opportunity to strengthen my light. I call upon the light of divine love to ignite the light of my heart, strengthening it each day. Through divine grace, I am always held in the light. May divine grace shine through me and into the hearts and minds of all beings upon the earth. So be it. Again, wrapping up this card, very simply put, something that's incredibly powerful that I like to say is that it is within our darkest nights that we learn to shine our brightest lights. Think about that. Oh, what's that? You want to be a light guardian? You want to shine your light? You want to help change the world? All right, cool. We're going to teach you how to shine your light by putting you into the darkest nights. And then as you step out of it, it's like a fucking beacon, man. And people see that and they're inspired by that. And it just helps accelerate the healing on a huge way. So thank you everyone for showing up and for doing the work. Drop some more 1111s in the comments if this resonates with you. Thank you, Michelle. And thank you, everyone, for, again, holding space for this very important message. Number 30, Dark Angel from the Lightworker Oracle deck. So, Michelle, I hope let us know if that's like a little bit of inspiration that again, just reminds you that, like, you're right where you need to be in order to be able to get to where you are going. And there is no shame in anything that you've gone through, and you are loved, and continue to move forward with courage, inspiration, and determination and resilience. And your story is bigger than your own. So thank you, Michelle, for being with us here today. And thank you, everyone, for being here and being a part of this shared story. So beautiful, beautiful message. All right. Awesome. Okay, so with that said, we're going to get right into our next reading. We got another reading coming up. And again, I'll read some quick comments in the chat if anybody has any comments related to that card. I'm just looking through the comments now. Jesus Gomar says, when someone only sees darkness and no light at the end of the tunnel, maybe you are looking for the light outside when it is you watching you. Interesting. Thank you, Gomar. Allison, thanks for your comment too. Oh, you guys are still waiting to hear my alien abduction story? I don't have an alien abduction story. I have a UFO story. I don't have an alien abduction story. I think. Allison, thank you for sharing as well. Jesus, thank you for leaving your comment. I like the way you use your words. Thank you as well. Thank you, everyone. Holly, thank you for writing good, great vibes. Awesome, sweet. All right, thank you again, everyone. Cool. All right, team. Haroline, let us first of all, let me know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. And thank you again for adding your support to the Patreon. And Michelle, thank you again. Michelle saying thank you again for putting this message so beautifully. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for allowing us to be able to share it with the team. All right, so again, as we're doing this reading, I'd love to be able to get one more Patreon sign up as we're doing this reading. So again, for those of you who are tuned in, maybe you're not in the chat that I'm able to see immediately. If you'd like to be able to sign up for the Patreon, you can see the link for the Patreon right here in the corner, patreon.com/Brendan Culleton. You can open that up on another browser in your phone, and you can take a look at it, and you can sign up at whatever level you choose. Again, the $5 level is the minimum level, and then you can also sign up at the $11 level, which will get you a beautiful Lemurian Light Guardian crystal, which I hand make for people within the project, and also have access to me as your private conscious media creation coach, and to be able to join as a leading member within the Paradigm Shift Central community, which is our team of conscious media creators and leaders. So that's a lot of awesome value that we have there to be able to help support people and accelerate the shift in consciousness. So Haroline, thank you for confirming I'm pronouncing it properly. Let us know, Haroline, which deck would you like? Would you like the Lightworker Oracle deck, or would you like the Ananda Tarot deck? Again, the one that we just did was a Lightworker Oracle deck. The one that we did at the beginning was the Ananda Tarot deck. Each one's kind of got a little bit of a different way of kind of like expressing its messages. Both are equally awesome. So whatever one you choose. The Lightworker Oracle deck may be... A lot of people usually choose the Lightworker Oracle deck because I feel like its messages are very kind of specific. For those of you tuning in on Instagram, go ahead and click the link in my bio to be able to tune in on YouTube. And again, for those of you who are tuned in on YouTube, if you would like to be able to add your support, maybe you want a reading now, maybe you want to do one later. Again, I can always do a private reading as well. Go ahead and sign up for the Patreon, and let's work on... Again, I'd love to be able to get one more Patreon sign up before the end of this broadcast. And if so, like this will either be our last reading, but if we do get one more Patreon sign up, I can do one more reading after this. But then after that, I have to head out to go do my preparation tonight for the guided global meditation, which again is at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're here today, right now, listening to this broadcast, I would love to be able to have you on air tonight for our guided global meditation. So awesome. All right. Haroline would like to use the Lightworker Oracle deck. Haroline, if you want, Haroline, you're welcome to watch on YouTube if you have a YouTube account, and then you can join the chat there. But either way, you can stay in the Facebook as long as it's working properly for you. I'll just share the link for the YouTube. So if you want to watch on YouTube, you can watch on YouTube. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for sharing. Lindsay, thanks again for being here. If you're still here, and all right, cool. All right. So with that said, let's get right into our next reading. And again, I'll keep an eye open for new Patreon signups as we go. If anybody here is interested in signing up for the Patreon, or if any other Patreon supporters want to update their pledge, absolutely, please feel free to do that. And again, super appreciated, and thank you for helping support the future of conscious media creation. All right, for everybody here, keep hanging out, keep connecting with community. If you want to share your Instagram handles in the chat, please feel free to do so. Just leave your Instagram handle, and we can do that. All right, Haroline, confirm for me that you are ready in the chat, and we will move into this next reading. All right. Thanks, Lindsay. Lindsay's doing dishes while listening. That's cool. Yeah, if anybody's watching this, please feel free to like get up and stretch, you know, like do some yoga while listening to this. I encourage you to do whatever you wish. All right, Haroline is ready for her reading. So, all right. Okay. All right, so let's get right into this next reading. And again, for those of you who are here, if you would like the next reading on air to be for you, go ahead and check out the Patreon. Sign up for that at any level, $11 being the asking level. And we'll do a reading for you. And that will be our last reading for this broadcast, but we'll always be back again for more broadcasts. And you can sign up at any time and get a personal private reading as well. Focusing on this reading, Haroline, thank you for adding your support to the Patreon. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Let's get ready to do this next reading. Haroline, I just invite you to drop into the space of gratitude. Close your eyes, relax. You can put your hand on your chest if you wish. Just feeling this moment, feeling the inspiration, feeling the light shining out of your heart, the illumination of your entire being. And just being in this space of gratitude, connection, feeling what it's like to be amongst other inspired, like-hearted people, like-minded people. Haroline, as you're in this space, for everybody here, I invite you to focus on the intention of show us what we need to see, or show me what I need to see. Speak it with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words. Haroline, take a few more breaths here. Take your time. Keep that focus. And when you're ready, type now into the chat. And I'm just going to charge the deck up a little bit more. And oh, what mysteries will be revealed when we show up in the presence to see what we yield. As we turn the page in this book of magic and might, let us continue to gain sight beyond sight. As we look within, we expand without, and we remember what this journey is truly all about. Love and peace and unity, as we remember the connection between you and me. So as we breathe with our heart, let us bring forth this gift to be able to share with the world through the magic of a kiss, of a metaphysical remembrance on the third eye that continues to awaken the truth inside. As Haroline types now into the chat, we shall split the deck and see what message the universe has. The sound effects are so important. All right. Let's see what card we have now for Haroline, our newest Patreon supporter. Hey, Lily, thanks for joining in. This card is, this one looks like a good one. The card that we have chosen is number 12, Eternal Now. So give me 2 seconds here. I'm going to open this up and we shall read this one. Pretty sure I've read this one before. I think so. Mark, didn't we get this one for you a long time ago? I think so. But that's all right. I like reading cards more than once. It's always like the message will be relative. So awesome. All right. So again, this card is for Haroline, our newest Patreon supporter, signed up at the $5 level, and thank you so much. And Haroline is in the chat on Facebook. So again, as we're doing this, we can focus on this reading, and then when people are ready, they can sign up to the Patreon. And again, I'd love to get one more Patreon sign up for those who are ready. And again, even for those of you who may already be signed up for the Patreon, if you want to increase your Patreon pledge, absolutely, please feel free to do so. And let's focus in on this reading now. All right. Yo, Idra, thanks for tuning in. You just missed a super awesome reading, but I'm sure this one will be great too. So, all right, so let's take a look at this card. Let's see what we got. Number 12, the Eternal Now. So look at this image here. We have this old man who's kind of like speaking out this like spiral of infinity, whose hand is gently on his chest, on his heart. His eyes are closed, very somber, kind of again, just kind of like a gentle blowing of the breath. And his hand kind of held out as if he's just kind of like holding up an offering or gently just kind of resting something in his palm. And these beautiful colors in the background, kind of like a sunrise or a sunset. And again, just wearing this white robe, this elderly wisdom kind of imbued within his being. Beautiful, beautiful image. Let's read a little bit more about what this card has. Yeah, for those of you who just got here, I recommend checking the recording and check the last reading we did. It was all about Dark Angel. It was really interesting. All right. Okay, let's do this. Focus on the reading. And again, we'll keep an eye open for new Patreon signups in the background. And so if anybody's listening to this, go ahead and sign up for the Patreon. And we can do one more reading after this if we have another Patreon signed up. So let's get into this. Thank you, Haroline. Thank you, everyone. If you are here, this message is for you. Let it inspire you. Let it ignite the spark within. Number 12, Eternal Now. Within you is great strength and courage. However, just because you can manage to keep going when you are drained or stressed, it doesn't mean you have to do so. You are encouraged by your higher guidance to request assistance in letting go of tension within your mind and body. You will gain energy through this release and perhaps even see things in a new and more optimistic light. Shifting into a more present, relaxed, and enjoyable state of being will help you overcome the past and successfully create the future. And awesome, sweet. Okay, cool. We did just get another Patreon sign up. Holly, thank you so much. I'll give you a huge shout out in a second. Thanks, Holly. All right. Dear one, have your thoughts become trapped in the pain of the past? Have they been drifting towards possible futures? If too much of your energy is pulled away from the present moment, you diminish the power you have to create with your heart desires. Creation doesn't happen in the past or in the future. It happens in the here and now by the choices you make in each moment. Let me reread that. That's very powerful. Creation doesn't happen in the past or in the future. It happens in the here and now by the choices you make in each moment. Even now, in reading this message, you are choosing to be present to bring your energy into the eternal now, stimulating the law of attraction into action. As you relax in this moment, trusting that the past is over and the future shall be truly wonderful, you can more easily energize your dreams, visions, and heartfelt desires. The universe believes that you are deserving of a spiritual gift. To accept the gift in whatever form it takes, you will need to be present to have enough stillness of mind to recognize it. You will need to have enough inner peace to accept it, to take it inside where it can nourish, inspire, and heal you. The form of this gift will be perfect for you, and the way that it comes shall be perfect. It is being orchestrated by divine timing now. It will assist you to take the next step of your soul journey successfully. Your gift might be a piece of guidance and inner knowledge that changes your outlook permanently. It might help you truly know in your heart that your divine destiny is already unfolding and your spiritual success is inevitable. It is not a question of if, it is only a question of when. Your gift might be an amazing opportunity that comes out of the blue. It could be a meeting that will prove significant to your unfolding life path. It could be a new relationship or new connection with a community. It might be a life-changing teaching, a deeply healing dream, or an actual object. Spirit is unlimited in its willingness and ability to give to you. You need only to be open to receive, and you do so by bringing yourself back to the present moment. Stillness of mind and inner peace are only possible when you are present in the eternal now. This is where you will find what you are seeking. So let the past be done. Allow the future to take care of itself. Center your awareness in this moment. You are safe. You are breathing gently now. Breathe gently. You are here, where you belong, at exactly the right time. All things serve your greater good. Nothing is wrong. You are doing a fantastic job. All is in process. In this moment, there is just the peace and comfort of the eternal now. Relax, trust, and be nourished. If you have been worrying about the past or the future, this oracle comes with guidance to let it be. All is working out just as it is meant to. Even the things you don't quite understand or find hard to accept. In time, you will know the perfection of all that is happening in your life. You'll feel so lucky, blessed, and grateful, and truly loved. For now, however, it is enough to just be here and breathe. Very cool. All right. Very beautiful, beautiful card to be able to receive there. So, Haroline, just reading your comment here about how this relates to you. Thank you for sharing. And Haroline just basically saying that they've been going through a bit of spiritual growth and having trouble finding themselves in the here and now. And so again, I think this is a very, very important card that reminds us that it's great to be able to acknowledge where our focus is. And if we feel that we're not being fully present in the here and now, that's okay, because you're aware of it. But then what you also want to be able to do is acknowledge the fact that being here and now is something that will benefit you, is something that will nurture you. Being here and now is equally as important to you as good sleep, as good food, as meaningful connection, as dancing, as creating art, as lovemaking. Any of those things that serve the soul is equally as important as simply being present. And in today's society, it's almost conditioned us to be anywhere but in the present. We're constantly kind of worrying about the past. We're worrying about the future. Uncertainties creeping up on us from all angles. Let those feelings be in themselves a reminder of how important it is to be able to practice relaxing, to practice getting good at being here and now. And so I literally just want to be able to incorporate a practice into this. I literally just want to be able to invite everyone. Let's just take literally a minute, a few moments to be able to practice being here in the present moment. So I want to just be able to do this, and then we'll keep talking a little bit more. So for Haroline, for everybody here, stop typing in the chat, and I want you to just close your eyes. And I want you to begin breathing through your nose, if that is comfortable for you. Or breathe through your lips very softly, just with like a small little hole at the front of your lips. And what I want you to do in this moment, as you slowly breathe, I want you to focus your attention on the feeling of the air entering and exiting your nostrils, or entering and exiting the edge of your lips. And I'm just going to stop talking for a moment. Practice this moment of oneness, this moment of nowness. Try to forget about the past, forget about the future. Simply focus on the physical sensation of the air coming and going out of your nose or out of your lips. This is just a practice. There's no right or wrong. Do this. I'm going to stop talking for a moment and just observe it. Be present in this practice, bringing ourselves into the now. Allow yourself to relax through this. Go ahead. If you feel your mind wandering, gently bring it back to the intention. Take a few more breaths here, and I want you to just acknowledge how delicious your breath is, the entire sensation of it, from a perspective of gratitude. Just really fall in love with your breath right now. Take another breath. And gently, when you're ready, keeping this relaxed feeling, open your eyes. Turn your awareness to the space around you. Good. So just kind of talking here, just kind of allowing ourselves to relax. When we are relaxed, we give ourselves permission to be present. And I think in our culture, we have underestimated the importance of relaxation. Relaxation serves us so much because when we get good at relaxing, in that state, the body will be able to do what it needs to. It returns to homeostasis. It begins to heal itself. Things begin happening on a DNA molecular level, if you want to think about it that way. And so without even having to if you're thinking how do I solve my problems? How do I solve the past? How do I solve the future? Try and release that desire to feel like chasing after the solution is what's going to cause it to happen. When you allow yourself to relax, when you practice turning inwards, you practice focusing on gratitude, you get good at listening. You get good at receiving. You get good at receiving both the healing energy that you are cultivating from the inside out and also the clarity that can come through you in that moment. The whispers from spirit that will help guide you, that will remind you that it's okay. And so with this card, again, the Eternal Now, it's inviting us to be able to practice that ability of relaxing and also broadening our senses. Similar to the high priestess energy that we were talking about yesterday, this is about being able to like tune into the subtle energies, to listen to the language of the universe, to practice walking mindfully. And that's the thing, like your job is simply to take care of yourself first and foremost. And when you can practice slowing down, you can also practice at listening to your needs and honoring your needs. And again, sometimes your needs are literally just, I need to go spend time out in nature. I need to go get some sunlight. I need to go walk around the block. I need to journal. I need to dance. I need to move the energy out of me. And don't forget, if you feel like a tension, oftentimes what we acknowledge as like emotional kind of uncertainty is oftentimes energy that has been building up in the body that is waiting to be released. So that's why people always say like, oh, like go outside and take a walk, you'll feel better. Like that's not just a placebo. That's a very real thing. And when we understand that, we know that there are always these coping mechanisms. There are always these little things. There's always a move we can make. And again, sometimes what you need to do is literally just like go dance. Like how many times, like when was the last time you danced? And again, you know, for Haroline, for anybody here, if you have not danced in a while, put on a song that you love and just give yourself that permission. Because again, you doing that, it's not like you're just doing it for fun. You're literally doing it as an act of self-nurturing, as an act of love, as an act of like physically tending to your needs. And when you can start moving your energy, when you can go out and like go out on walks, start exercising, do a little bit of like sports or fitness, whatever's relative to you, whatever's comfortable for you, a little bit of yoga and things like that, it begins to move the energy. And when the energy is kind of like shifted out of places where it might have previously been stagnant, it gives us the ability to relax. This is why something as simple as cuddling is so valuable, because sometimes what will happen is like you might be with a partner and the one partner might be like, oh, like, you know, like I had a really stressful day today, and then the other partner will be like, here, like let me give you a hug, let me cuddle with you. And if the other person is relaxed, then it allows the person next to them to be able to relax. It's like a system. When our systems are in the same field, they become what each other are. And so when you like, so yeah, that's why like maybe you know, just like a hug can go such a far way, because in the process of doing that, it allows a person in that moment to just be present and to allow their body the permission to be able to relax, which allows you to be here in the now. And again, with the message of this card, in the process of being here in the now, it allows you to be more open to receiving the gifts that are on their way for you, that may already be here for you. And again, it's kind of like the fact that we're constantly looking into the future and looking into the past means that we're not looking at this present moment. And because of that, there may be gifts that may be right in front of us that we're not seeing, or maybe we're like walking past them. Synchronicities unfolding all around us that are just like outside of our perception. And so, not to say don't care about the past and don't care about the future, but just be very honest with yourself and to think about whether or not the amount of energy you're focusing towards it is serving you. Absolutely, plan ahead, have targets, think about the future, but try not to worry about, oh, what your next 50 steps are going to be, because the fact is, you're only going to take one step at a time. And so if you can just focus on that next step, do that and allow yourself to take that next step with intention. And then through that, the next step will come and the next step will come. And again, maybe that next step is, I'm going to go take a shower. I'm going to go like give myself a bath. I'm going to go treat myself to something that I enjoy. I'm going to go dance. I'm going to go spend time in nature. I'm going to connect with a friend and have a meaningful conversation. All of these little things can help you just moving back into that place of just like being able to find not just stillness but relaxation and ability to be able to receive the gifts and the wisdom and the love and the support that is already in your circle. So again, for you, Haroline, for anybody here who's listening to this card, let this card be an invitation for you to feel inspired to practice stillness. Because maybe if you're just like, oh my goodness, like, like my life's been really stressful, but have I even been practicing stillness? Have I been practicing relaxing? Have I been practicing being here in the now? And if not, that's okay. But let this be a reminder for you to begin that practice again, to start bringing it into your routine. Set a timer on your phone, on your watch. Once every half hour, let it be a reminder for you to take a mindful breath. Inhale. Big exhale. Something as simple as that. You should be taking like mindful breaths. You should be taking like well over 30 of those a day. And if you're not taking any a day, don't worry about shaming yourself, but let that be a way for you to know that there's something more that you can do, that there is a way for you to take that next step, that you can continue to be able to do the little things that will continue to change your entire field. And again, that in turn will allow you to be able to connect with the peace, connect with the gratitude, connect with the joy and the magic that is already within your circle. You do not need permission from the future or the past in order to be able to practice gratitude in the present. You do not need that. If you feel like you do, then that's kind of like giving away some of the power. And if you do that, that's okay. That's okay. But just know that it's a choice to be able to acknowledge the gratitude into the present. And as you develop this as a practice, it becomes common. It becomes consistent. It becomes easier. It becomes natural. It becomes a part of your routine. And so we need to take care of ourselves. Treat yourself like the beloved. Imagine you're like someone else and you're kind of looking at yourself and it's someone who you really care about and they asked you to take care of them. And they were just like, hey, can you remind me to take a deep breath every half hour? And you need to be that for yourself and just be like, hey, remember to take a big deep breath. Why? Because it's going to help you, because it's going to benefit you, and it's going to allow you to relax, allow you to open, allow you to be in the eternal now, and allow you to be able to have like more clarity, more gratitude, more presence, more peace, more love, and then you take that next step with you into the future. Bring it with you. You don't need the future to bring it to you. You cultivate it from the present moment, and you carry it with you into the future. If this resonates for you, drop an 1111 in the chat. We're going to read the invocation here. But again, I think this is a very, very important and powerful card for all of us, wherever we may be on our path. And again, if you find that like relaxing is something that you have trouble with, there's so many people out there that have like suggestions and ways to be able to relax. And listen to guided meditations, listen to other instructors, practice going out in nature, listen to your intuition, listen to music that's going to help you relax. You have all the tools you need to be able to help you practice being in the present moment. And being in the present moment is also going to help you tap into more of your creativity, to tap into more of your clarity on what it is that you wish for yourself, and to be able to listen in that moment. So awesome. All right, we're gonna read the invocation here. Again, drop those 1111s if this resonates with you. Haroline, if you're still in the chat, please let me know, and if you have any comments, I'd love to be able to share those on air if you wish. Holly, yes, you are signed up for the Patreon, confirmed. We'll do one more reading for Holly, and then after that, I do have to head out because I have to go work on the meditation for tonight. So, Haroline, I hope you're still tuned in with us. I haven't seen a comment just yet, but if you are still here, please let us know in the chat. And Ryder, I like your comment there. Kindness does not cost anything and can make someone's day into their best week, month, or year. Be kind. You never know when someone is truly going through. Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that, Ryder. Fully agree. Awesome. All right. I'm going to read the invocation here. So again, as I'm reading this, let this just be an opportunity for you to kind of like hear this as if you are speaking it to yourself. Invocation. I give myself permission to be free from past pain and future worry. There is so much goodness and so many gifts for me now. I choose to dwell in the peace of this moment, where all is unfolding according to a secret divine perfection. My unique divine destiny is manifesting with loving care. I open to the relief and reassurance that comes to me now. I am loved and provided for, and all is happening for my greatest fulfillment. I invite divine unconditional love to awaken peace in my heart and in the heart of all beings. Through my own free will, so be it. Beautiful card. Haroline, if you're still in the chat, please let us know. I'll make sure that if you're not here, that you do get a chance to be able to listen to the message that we pulled with that card. So thank you again, Haroline, and thank you again to everyone for being here, for adding your support. Give me 2 seconds here. I have to restart the Instagram feed, and again, we're going to do one more reading, which will be again for Holly, our newest Patreon supporter. Holly, thank you so much for adding your support. Super appreciated. And again, we'll if anybody else wants to add their support as we're doing this, absolutely, please feel free. 100%. Like you can add your support at any time. Give me 2 seconds here as I'm just setting things up. And Holly, let me know, would you like the Ananda Tarot deck or would you like the Lightworker Oracle deck? Oh yeah, it's a Cancer full moon right now. Wow, I totally forgot about that. It's not just the wolf moon, it's the Cancer full moon. Cancer wolf moon. This is like totally my moon. Like, definitely. All right. Okay, cool. All right, I'm just restarting the broadcasts on Instagram. And again, Holly, let us know what deck you would like us to use, and we shall do that. And Haroline, if you're in the comments, please feel free to let us know, and we will move right into this next reading. And again, this will be the last reading for today because I have to head out. I have to go do some stuff. So this reading will probably be we'll make sure that again it goes in depth. I think we'll spend at least 20 to 30 minutes on it. All right. Okay, give me 2 seconds. I just gotta walk away. I just gotta get just like something real quick. So I'll be right back, and then we'll get right into our next reading. Again, Holly, let me know if you would like the Ananda Tarot deck or the Lightworker Oracle deck. And again, if anybody had any comments from that last reading, please feel free to let me know. And again, if people have questions in the chat that you want to be able to provide answer to, absolutely, please feel free to like support each other in the chat. That is why we're here. So be right back. That makes sense. And he was a camera guy too. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, team, we are back. All right. Holly, if you're in the chat, please feel free to drop a comment so I can see where you are. And if Holly is here, we will get into our next reading. If Holly isn't here, then we're actually going to wrap this up. And again, that's only just because I have to go do my work to get ready for the meditation tonight. And if Holly isn't here, then we'll be able to do a private reading with them once we get a chance. So Holly, thank you so much. And 1 second, team. All right, is Holly here? Cool. All right, Holly's there. Can someone do me a favor? Can you guys just go to my my Patreon page and just make sure that's loading up okay? I'm not sure if there's just like an issue with Patreon in the background. If someone can just click on that and just confirm for me that it's loading up for you guys okay before I start sharing the link around some more, that would be super appreciated. So, all right, Holly is here, so let's get ready to move into our next reading. Again, this is going to be our last reading for today, but don't let that stop you from signing up to the Patreon if you are ready to sign up for the Patreon. And again, we'll be back doing more readings. I'll be doing some more readings. I have to see what my schedule is like tomorrow. I have to play hockey in the morning, and then I got some work I have to do outside of broadcasts. But you guys know I'll always be back to do some more readings. Just hang out with you all day. All right. Yeah, someone just drop a let me know in the comments if the Patreon is loading up for you okay. Because I think it was just a browser thing on my end for a second there. Patreon's good. Thank you, Eric. I know that's autocorrect, yeah. All right. The patterns are good. We're patterns green. All right, thanks, dude. All right, team. If you're ready for this next reading, Holly, let's get right into that. And let's, yeah, Holly, let me know. Would you like the, thank you, Lindsay, for confirming Patreon is okay. Thank you, Indra. Quick, I just want to, like, do a quick survey. Who here is not signed up for the Patreon, but wants to sign up before the end of the month? Just give me, like, I'm just kind of gauging things as it is. Because I think there's quite a few people here. Like, I'm not going to say any names because I'll let you say it for yourself. But I know there's a couple people here that were like, yeah, I'm going to sign up once I can. So thank you again, everyone. This is like, seriously, it's a lot of work that's gone into this, but I think it's a great representation of what is possible in today's day and age where we as a community can support things from the ground up. You know, this doesn't need to be like a corporation from the top down. So Idra is going to sign up. Indra, am I saying your name right? How am I supposed to say it? Like, I'm saying it Indra, but I feel like that's not correct. So let me know if there's a proper way to say it. Holly, let me know what deck you would like. Would you like the Lightworker Oracle deck, or would you like the Ananda Tarot deck? Let me know which one you prefer. And I'm just going to start the broadcast on Instagram again. All right, we are live on Instagram once again, my friends. If you're watching this in the future, click the link in my bio to be able to tune in on YouTube. And Lindsay, thank you again, Lindsay, for saying that you would like to sign up eventually. Thank you, Lindsay. Awesome. All right. Honestly, some people would like sign up just to get the Light Guardian crystal, but then other people sign up because they think I'm cute, so I don't mind. For those of you who think I'm cute, stay tuned. There might be some like special stuff coming soon. You'll find out later. So I'm just monetizing the fact that people think I'm cute. That's all right. No shame in that. Girls do it all the time. All right. All right. Holly, looking for your comment in the chat. Let me know if you what deck you would like, and we'll get right into it. Indra. Not difficult to explain. Not Indra. Yeah. So again, I'm probably just pronouncing it wrong. Try and type it out phonetically, and I'll do my best to pronounce it. Or if there's like another name you want me to call you by. Thanks, So Wolf. Am I pronouncing that right? I don't know how to pronounce that either. So, All right, Holly, I'm looking for confirmation from you in the chat that you are ready before we go into this next reading, and hopefully you're there right away. Just because I again at this point, like I do want to make sure that I'm heading out the door really soon. So awesome. Okie dokie. Allison, thank you so much. Again, the gesture means a lot. Like honestly, the gesture of like wanting to sign up means as much to me as signing up. So because again, basically like time is non-linear, right? So like I'm thanking you now, knowing that you're gonna like sign up whenever it works. And Ryder saying that they would like to sign up. Thank you again. Like seriously, I love the idea that like almost like a lot of the people tuned in are like supporters, right? Because then it becomes like something we're creating together. So thank you again, everyone. All right, Holly, if you're there, please let me know. I would love to be able to get into this reading as soon as possible. Idra, okay, also going by Ariel. All right, yes, I can see that. You're very much Ariel. For those of you tuning in on Instagram, click the link in my bio to be able to tune in on YouTube. And yes, Sue Wolf. Okay, cool. It was funny. Well, my mom's name's Sue for one thing, but they were just showing me a picture of my great grandfather with my grandfather, and like he looks like me. I look like him, which is pretty interesting. So, and he was also he worked for Kodak cameras in World War II. Which is pretty cool. And now here I am, like 2 generations later, and like I'm doing camera things. Like the fractal does not fall far from the Mandelbrot, I guess, as the old saying goes. All right, Holly, which deck would you like? See in your comments there. Would you like the Ananda Tarot deck or the Lightworker Oracle deck? Let me know. Holly, I think you may. I'm not sure. I think you may be a bit behind in the feed. I'm not sure if you're fully clicked on the live portion. You might be a bit behind. Just double make sure that you're tuned in live. You may be like a minute behind. I'm not entirely sure. I just noticed your response was a little bit past when I originally said it, but no worries either way. All right, so we're just waiting for confirmation from Holly in terms of what deck they would like to be able to use, and then we will do that reading. And again, then from there, I'll be running out the door. So Sue says, you look like my nephew Brenton. My nephew Brenton in the future. Or okay, your nephew's not named Brenton. I'm Brendan, and I look like your nephew in the future. Gotcha. So my nephew looks like me too. So, which is interesting. Thanks everyone. Again, like, okay, Holly. Again, Holly, I think your comments are coming in a little bit delayed. So again, I still haven't seen confirmation in terms of what deck you would like to be able to use. So hopefully Holly's internet is like synced up. Yeah, okay, I think it glitched. Okay, no worries. All right, so Holly, just confirm, waiting to know what deck you want to use, Ananda Tarot deck or Lightworker Oracle deck, and confirm for me once you're ready, and we'll get into that as soon as we can. And for those of you patiently waiting, huge thank you for just being here. Oh, Sue, your nephew is named Brenton. Oh, wow, Brenton. I've never heard that name. That's really cool. I assumed it was just a typo. I didn't know. That's really cool. I'm gonna name one of my kids Wolf. Somewhere within my kid's name will be Wolf or Wolf Shield. So that's funny. Oh, that's cool, Sue. All right, Holly, you said the first deck. I'm not exactly sure which deck is the first deck because I said that a couple moments ago. So Lightworker Oracle deck or Ananda Tarot deck? Confirm for me which one you would like. Lightworker Oracle? Lightworker. Okay, cool. All right, okay, let's get right into this. Again, we're gonna do this reading. It will be yeah, again, I'm not rushing it, but again, I think we'll probably be able to put this one within about 20 minutes. All right. Cool. Yeah, Wolf Shield is actually the translation of my middle name. For those of you who are wondering, like trying to figure out where that came from, my middle name is Randall, which is after my grandfather, and Randall actually translates to Wolf Shield in like Nordic. So, all right, Holly is ready. Holly, thank you so much for adding your support to the Patreon. Let's get right into this reading, and thank you again, everyone, for holding space. Holly, inviting you just to be able to drop into this space of gratitude. Relax, and hey, let's practice being in this eternal now. Closing our eyes, connecting with our breath. Feeling the connection of amazing people who are here with us on this broadcast right now. And as we're in this space of gratitude, Holly, inviting you to speak the intention of show me what I need to see, or show us what we need to see. Speak it with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words. And when you are ready, Holly, type now into the chats. And give me a couple extra moments here as I charge the deck. And as the ripples continue to make these waves, let us continue to find more ways to play as we continue to spread the love and the message of hope through this world, so that more of the generations of the next boys and girls will step into their power with clarity, will continue to pave the new ways to be, and continue to shift the paradigms for all to see. For the next generation will be inspired from birth to be able to help reconnect us with the wisdom of this earth. And so as Holly types now into the chats, let us split the deck and see what message the universe has. You guys realize that like us doing this is basically like us like communicating with like higher consciousness, right? Like that's it's essentially like what we're doing. So all right, well, this is a new one to me, so I'm excited. Our next card on behalf of Holly for the team, our newest Patreon supporter, thank you so much, Holly, is number 24, Initiation by Air. Give me 2 seconds here as I have to open it up to the book, which is interesting because we just did 25. Now this is 24. That's pretty cool. I like that. Okay. Maybe one day I'll just do a reading of like the entire page. We'll just read this book as if it's like a novel. See how it starts and ends. Okay. Let's take a look here. Thank you again, everyone. Keep adding the 1111s in the chat. Let us know that you're here. Let us know that you're present. And again, if anybody wants to sign up for the Patreon, if we get one more Patreon during this broadcast, I'll like scream. I'll just be like, oh my god! So no pressure though. We've already got 3, which is awesome. So thank you again, everyone. Looking at the image of this card, let's see what we got here. We have this beautiful image. Again, for those of you on Instagram, click my bio link so you can see on YouTube. We have this beautiful image of this male who is like standing kind of at the edge of a cliff in a valley, kind of like almost looks like Arizona or something like that, with these beautiful like doves, essentially almost like coming out of their chest, and this light kind of emanating from them, and they also got like wings behind them, and this beautiful landscape of the rolling clouds, the sunset or the sunrise behind them, the rich oranges and reds of the earth, and they themselves also wearing this like kind of like half skirt, kind of whatever you would call that, bathed in white, and yeah, just like a very peaceful, somber look to them. So very, very, very powerful image. Look at that image. Wow. Again, Holly, make sure that you message me on Instagram or whatever, and I can send you the direct image for this afterwards as well. All right, let's read through this. Let's see what message we have. And again, this will be the last reading for today. And thank you again, everyone, so much for being here. So thank you, Holly. Let's give a little bit of love to Holly in the chat, and let's read and see what messages the card has for us. So again, if you're tuned in, this message is for you. Here we go. 24. Initiation by Air. You have a strong and powerful mind. The mind can be a great asset. It can bring comfort, peace, and strength, and as you take your spiritual journey. It can also be a dark and destructive force, undermining your power, making you doubt your own heart, and keeping you trapped in fear. The mind, developed without a loving spiritual practice, can be a frightening weapon rather than a liberating sword. How will you choose to use your mind power? Your mind can become more spacious and luminous if you practice emptying it on a regular basis. The radiant mind can be a mighty warrior against fear and despair, encouraging you with thoughts of optimism. When not given a chance to empty, however, the mind becomes overwhelmed with unprocessed information. This kind of relates to the last card we just read, eh? Much of it will be fear-based programming perpetuated by mass media, which is invested in controlling others and manipulating them by fear. This initiation, which liberates and opens the mind, empowers advanced souls to free themselves from manipulation and control. The hallmark of a dysfunctional society is that the mind is expected to dominate the inclinations of the heart rather than serve it. The mind can be trained to be a great messenger, create a great manager, creator, and defender of what has what has genuine value to the heart. But the power to feel what has meaning for us, what moves us through to rise above our fears and risk growth, comes from the heart, not the mind. When the mind is given the task to feel and the heart is told to not feed, paralysis, confusion, and discomfort are experienced. I'm going to reread that. When the mind is given the task to feel and the heart is told not to feel, paralysis, confusion, and discomfort are experienced. As you enter into this initiation, you will feel the need to step back from what you have been taught and learn to question what you once held to be true. As you disengage from habitual mental patterns, you will begin to observe your thoughts rather than be swept up in them. Soon you will begin to experience yourself as the peaceful, steady light of love that you are in truth. Will the mind go through its motions? Yes. However, there is no need to be afraid of this. One step at a time, your spirit shall guide your mind back towards peace. You will change the way you relate your own mind, becoming more empowered. As you soften the strident action of your mind, you will see that you can use your mental gifts wisely rather than allowing them to cause you pain. When you have strong mental energies, those who have strong mental energies can accomplish much in terms of communication, invention, and creativity, but they often also suffer from destructive self-talk and mental obsessions. They may even be addicted to thinking, which can wear them out and create cravings for sugars that can lead to depression and illness. Instead, it is much better to regularly take time from the mind and be in the moment, feeling energized, playful, and at peace. Your mind is a powerful creature. Tame it with persistence, compassion, kindness, and strength. Give yourself rest and an opportunity to switch off and empty your mind as regularly as you can. There is no need to judge or despair. There is an advanced initiation. This is an advanced initiation and one that is brought to you only when you are ready. Consider it a sign of your spiritual progress. The world will benefit from you as you learn to handle your mental energies more constructively. This oracle is indeed an omen of greater peace and happiness in your imminent future. Very cool. Very, very interesting and relative message. Again, drop those 1111s in the cat, in the cat, or drop it in the dog. I don't care. Drop it anywhere you want. Drop it like it's hot. drop those 1111s in the chat and let me know if this resonates with you. Hey, if you're tuned into this, that means you've got a brain, you've got a mind, and you're probably someone who's experienced something similar to this. So for Holly, for anybody here who's receiving this message, I think this is a very, very powerful card to, again, be able to help us release shame in how our mind may, in the relationship that we have with our mind, when at times it may not be like one that really feels the best. It may not feel fully comfortable. Yet those moments when we feel like the mind is kind of like taking control of our being, or kind of like constructing our perception of reality in a way that isn't feeling joyful or isn't feeling optimistic, that in itself is, again, part of the initiation that this card is talking about, to be able to remind you that there are ways to shift that, that there are ways to change that. And similar to the other card, this card really hits upon the importance of self-care, of self-love. Like your mind, your body, it's like a vehicle, you know? And so like if you're driving a car and it starts making noise, what do? Do you just keep driving it across the highway, and then when it crashes, you get surprised? Like when it breaks down, you're just like, wow, I totally didn't expect that, even though there was like lights blinking within the dashboard telling me that something was up. When we notice that things are up within our mind, when we feel ourselves maybe feeling, again, like, you know, like not fully present, or a little bit depressed, or a little bit overthinking, and a little bit over analyzing, that's okay. The fact that you can observe that is important, because that gives you the opportunity to be able to know that there's the opportunity to change, that there is something that can be done. And so with this card, it's really reminding us, for anyone, whether you feel like, you don't have to let your mind get to the point where it's like, whoa, okay, like my mind is like way too overloaded right now. What you want to be able to do is to be able to practice emptying the mind on a regular basis. You know, again, it's kind of like, that's why before you go to sleep at night, it's really, really beneficial to do retrospective meditation if you feel that would benefit for you. Because otherwise, you know, it's easy to kind of like bring all of those thoughts running through your head and like bring them with you into sleep. And so kind of going back to the previous card about the benefits of being able to practice being in the eternal now, to kind of like separate yourself from like the future and the uncertainty, and to separate yourself from the trauma of the past, or again, like any of the pain and anything like that, and to practice being in the present, is a great way to be able to practice clearing the mind. And again, sometimes you just need to do things that are going to let you just kind of like get your mind off of things, and to just be able to focus on something different. And again, sometimes focusing on something different means doing something that you really love, doing something that you enjoy, again, like going dancing, spending time with friends, focusing on something that's like a creative task in the moment. Go read a book, go read a puzzle, and things like that. Even, and again, this is literally just what comes with being human. We have to be able to acknowledge, like, how does my mind feel today? How are my thoughts feeling today? Does it feel like my mind's a little bit scattered? Does it feel like it's not a bit focused? Basically, you can kind of think of your mind and your entire being as basically being like an instrument, and it's up to you to be able to tune your instrument on a regular basis. Because if you don't tune your instrument and you're playing music, you're playing a violin, it's like wham, 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 and you're just like, wow, that what's with that noise? But there is hope, because again, you can tune your instrument through self-care, through taking time for yourself, through being in the healing space of nature, literally just being in a forest bathing. How many people here have heard of forest bathing? Just the idea of being able to put yourself in the presence of an energy that is going to help you relax, that is going to help you shift your focus, that is going to help you stop over analyzing things. And even journaling is such a powerful thing. Write down like what your objectives are, write out your feelings, talk with people, help get things out. Do what is called known as a brain dump. A brain dump is basically where you journal and you just kind of like get things out of your head that way, so it like off puts them out of your hard drive, and then it clears up space for more things. So again, a brain dump, you have to kind of clear your mind, because again, like our mind, very similar to a computer, and if there's like a bunch of files that we're not like emptying every now and then, it builds up and it builds up and it builds up. And what happens? The computer starts like running into problems. It starts running out of hard drive space. It doesn't have the same operating power to be able to like process new tasks. And so if we feel like our mind is becoming too full, that's okay, but it's our responsibility to be able to do what we need for our mind. We think that this mind is like this something super mysterious, but it's really not much different from any other part of our body that has its own needs. If you feel like you're hungry, what do? You eat food. If you feel like your body is a little bit stiff, what do? You exercise. If you feel like your mind is a little bit full, what do? You practice journaling, you practice spending time in nature, you practice singing a song, you practice spending time with your friends. You go do something that's going to give you the opportunity to just bring yourself back to the present moment. And so when we get more aware of the dynamics of the mind, we can become more accustomed to understanding the needs of the mind, and to give ourselves that gift, and again, to be able to like ask for help. Like there's only so much that I can really like offer in terms of kind of speaking in vague terms, but again, if you feel like you need like professional assistance, reach out for it. There's no shame in that. There is no shame in asking for help, because asking for help is actually an act of self-love. Again, it's like an investment in yourself. Like a lot of people like have this stigma of like, oh, like what's that? You're like, oh, you see a psychiatrist? You must be crazy. Like there are plenty of people who like talk to psychiatrists and it keeps them sane, you know. And it's not like they were crazy to begin with, again, quote unquote crazy. I'm not trying to label anything here, but just the act of like being able to have someone else to talk to again be able to like dump things out of your mind, to be able to offload some of the files, to be able to have someone to listen to, incredibly beneficial. And then it's just like, oh, okay, sweet, just by talking about it actually helped me feel a lot better, and maybe it gave me a new perception, and maybe it changed my paradigm a little bit, and now I can focus on where I need to. So again, your mind is a powerful creature. Tame it with persistence, compassion, kindness, and strength. And I think we have to do that. We have to be very kind to our mind. We have to be compassionate with our mind. And again, there's a whole nother level to this related to mindfulness, basically, where, you know, you're not, when the thoughts come up in your mind, this is a part of the mindfulness practice that I think more and more of us are getting better at. It's to be able to kind of like separate yourself from identifying with the thoughts, and instead be able to notice when they arrive, and to be able to observe them, and to be able to let them pass. And so this is something that takes practice, because again, you know, it's sometimes one of those things where it's like a thought will come up and be like, oh, you're not good enough, like you're stupid, and this thought will come up. But again, it's like that thought is like something that was almost like imprinted on us from an external source, or it could have been, you know, something that someone said to us that just kind of stuck with us. But your responsibility and the hope in this is to be able to observe that, and to be able to meet that thought, and just kind of like see it as if it's like kind of like a like the bully at school who is angry because there's like love that they aren't receiving. And because of that, they project, and they're like, oh, this is how I get attention, by like making fun of people and making them feel bad, and it makes me feel better about myself. Like sometimes we bully ourselves in our own mind. And so if that's the case, what do we need to do? You getting mad at the bully, getting mad at your own thoughts won't change them. Like it literally won't fix them. Unfortunately, you can allow the divine anger to help give you the inspiration to be able to be like, okay, now I know what to do. And what I need to do is to be able to meet it with compassion. And so again, when the thought comes up, you just kind of observe it and just be like, okay, like I see you, little thought. I send you a little bit of love, and I wish you well as you kind of like pass your way through like the subway channels of my mind. You know, it's kind of like I like visualizing this idea that like sometimes we have these thoughts, and again, a lot of times they're like programmed into us, and it's like the thought is like a train, and this train will kind of be like driving along, but it's our choice to choose whether or not we jump onto that train and choose to ride it. So again, like I'll give you an example. Like way back when I was younger and kind of going through my own deprogramming phase, a lot of it was even just like related to like programming of like how I would view women, like how I would view like people of the opposite gender who I was attracted to. And I'm sure this is something where we can relate to, because again, you know, society kind of puts us into this mindset of like seeing them as something that we only view as like a sexual object, or we just kind of see them as like, you know, like something of our desire, and we're just like always thinking about sex or something like that. Instead, over time, I conditioned myself to just kind of like observe if thoughts like that came up, and then just not hop on that train. Like they would kind of rise, you know, like and again, like me saying this is just saying it because I want you to be able to relate. I'm not trying to like shame myself or anything. In fact, I'm celebrating the fact that I've been able to transform myself. And again, this is like an imprint of culture, and this was like way back in the day and stuff like that. But again, like say for example, like okay, I'm like out in public and I'm in the mall and like a cute girl's walking in front of me, and there's like a part of my mind that's like, look at her butt. Like you should totally look at her butt. And if you were to look at her butt right now, it would be totally fine because no one's going to notice if you look at her butt, and you can totally look at her butt, and it becomes this like selfish thing. And instead, like there would be like a part of my mind that would be like trying to tell me to do that. And instead I would just be like, okay, like I see you, but I'm choosing to do what I want to do. And what I'm choosing to do is something that's like more aligned with my virtues and more aligned with like again, like my like intentions of respecting people and respecting myself and things like that. And then you get good at this. You get good at kind of like noticing the old programming rise, but then not jumping on that train, not just like doing it just because it comes up. Just because you have a thought does not mean you have to enact it out. And so again, like something as simple as that can be applied to a variety of things. But again, I think it really comes back to the idea of like acknowledging that like however your mind operates, there's no shame in it. And to be able to like know that like there is hope and there are coping mechanisms and there are ways to be able to take care of yourself, and we have to be able to be a strong like observer of our thoughts, without being a judge of our thoughts. But in the same time, you also want to be critical to be able to say, like, what thoughts do I want to choose to identify with? And then what you can start doing is you can start programming it where you start creating positive reinforcing thoughts that basically remind you, like, I am worthy. I am awesome. I have value. I have gifts. There is hope. There is inspiration. There is purpose. Feed yourself these thoughts. Like, imagine you're like, having a conversation with yourself and you're typing these into a chat log, and it's like, what do you want popping up all day? And so again, like when you can kind of like shift your focus into the future and kind of like feel like the destiny calling you of being able to help assist with the shift in consciousness, you know that your transformation, kind of like what we were talking about with the dark angel, is actually something that you've chosen to do so that you can transmute it on behalf of the collective. So any issues with your mind that you may be going through, you're only going through those because you are strong enough to be able to transmute them and to heal through them. And it's important to be able to invest in yourself without shame, and to know that it's okay to ask for help, and to know that there are plenty of ways to be able to like help reprogram your mind. Like I'm sure you're well aware of this, the fact that the mind is like, neuroplasticity, it can reprogram it. It's only when we become quote unquote lazy that programs begin to like ingrain themselves and habits become like more enriched. And so sometimes it's a bit of a struggle because we have to like break old patterns, we have to break old programs that have been like really drilled into us. But there is still hope, there is still time. And again, it's being able to like bring clarity of like, what do you want for your mind? And it's not to say that the negative thoughts will never arise, but when they do, you can choose how you relate to them. You can meet them with temperance. And again, sometimes it can be like an impulse thing where you may feel like it can even be related to food, right? Where it's just like, this is a great way to be able to train yourself. Start it on a way that's kind of like more like not even just like emotional, but even just kind of like every day, where it's just like a part of you comes up and it's like, oh yeah, like I really want to eat that cookie. Like I really want to eat that cookie because there's a part of you that's like, yes, eat the cookie. It tastes good. It releases dopamine. That's what you want. And that's what you're focused on. But what do you really want? What if you really want to develop temperance? What if you want to develop willpower? And then the idea of saying no to not eat that cookie is equally delicious as saying yes to that cookie, because you're cultivating something that is going to last longer and is going to serve more in the long run. So if you can fall in love with being able to like to like develop the willpower and again the temperance and being able to say no while also being able to say yes to something more, that's incredibly powerful. And again, you can apply that to any sort of temptations. Your vices are the stones to help you sharpen the sword of your will, is something that I like to say. That's like a quote that I made up. Your vices are the stones to help sharpen the sword of your will. So when you notice like the old programming, say like, oh, do this old habit, do this old habit, do this old habit, observe it, but then meet it with an intention of who you want to be, of what you are choosing for yourself. Just because it comes up doesn't mean that you become a slave to the old programming. So again, it's really a card, it's really a message that invites us into a deeper place of responsibility, because no one will do it for you, but you are allowed to be able to ask for help and to be around a community who's going to be able to help support it as well. If this resonates with you, drop an 1111 in the chat. And again, I like the idea that the other thing, and I'll wrap this up in the next minute. I like the idea that it basically talks about when the mind is given the task to feel and the heart is told not to feel, paralysis, confusion, and discomfort are experienced. So this is also just a very important reminder to make sure that we're thinking with both our head and our heart. Like your heart is literally a brain as well. We kind of forget about this, but what does it mean to like think with your heart? It means to be like, again, like empathetic to yourself, to pay attention to your needs and everything like that. So again, like that's something just to kind of keep in mind. It's like, are we too much in our head, and are we not enough in our heart, and how can we kind of find the balance between the two, because that will allow us to navigate things with more effectiveness. Your mind is a powerful creature. Tame it with persistence, compassion, kindness, and strength. Keywords: compassion, kindness. Give yourself rest and an opportunity to switch off and empty your mind as regularly as possible. So again, going back to the idea of just like mindful breaths a few times a day, how much that makes a difference is incredibly so important. So if you can get good at taking like a mindful breath, a few mindful breaths every half hour, that will help you in the long run. And then like, you know, like a thought may come up, and instead of like hopping on that train, instead let that be a trigger for you to be able to be like, oh, let's just take a mindful breath first. Let's just kind of relax. Let's allow ourselves to slow down. If we kind of act on impulse, that's usually when we end up doing things that we end up regretting, so to speak. But when we allow ourselves to slow down and listen to our feelings and remind ourselves of how our thoughts are not just ours, but again, are kind of passing through us, then it changes how we relate to them. It releases the shame. It allows us to meet them with compassion. There is no need to judge or despair. This is an advanced initiation, and one that is brought to you only when you are ready. Consider it a sign of your spiritual progress. The world will benefit from you, and you can learn to handle your mental energies more constructively. This oracle is indeed an omen of greater peace and happiness in your immediate future. So yes, absolutely. Let this be an omen for peace that you seek, and to know that you have the ability to practice cultivating it, and to practice creating more of it, and to practice feeling like, yeah, what does it feel like when you and your mind are like really kind of, again, like on the same page, and all your thoughts are again like reinforcing. And it's not to say like quote unquote negative thoughts will never arise, but when they do, you'll be able to relate to them in a different way. So it's all about relating. It's definitely about relating, and when we slow down and pause and take a breath, it allows us to be more present with our ability to relate. So very beautiful. Drop those 1111s in the chat if this resonates with you. And again, Holly, please feel free to let us know how this resonates with you as well, and we can read those on screen. Selena saying self-discipline. I get so preachy about that, and integrity. Thank you, Selena, for adding your comments. Again, if you're tuned in on Instagram, click the link in my bio to join in on YouTube. We're almost done here, though. This is the last reading for the day. I'm going to read the invocation here. So again, as I'm reading the invocation, allow this to just kind of be like you speaking. So allow this to be like your soul speaking to you. Invocation. I call upon the unconditionally loving ones to help me empty and refresh my mind. Renewed in eternal love, may I express my freedom in making wise decisions that create joy and love in me and in the world. I ask for divine mercy, compassion, protection, and instruction to assist me in bringing my mind into loving consciousness. May the light of the divine shine unobstructed through my mind, bringing peace to the world. May the unconditionally loving helpers of humanity help bring light, healing, and joy to the minds of all. Through my own free will, so be it. So again, your mind is your sword. Wield it with intention, wield it wisely, wield it with compassion. Awesome, awesome. Thanks, Shauna, for dropping in. I'm glad you were able to make it for the last reading. So there you go. Holly, again, leave your comments in the chat if you're tuned in with us still, and for anybody else, please feel free to leave your comments as well. Number 24, initiation by air, and again, the air basically being like a symbol for the mind. Very cool, everyone. All right, so with that said, we're going to wrap this up. I have to go up to the library to do some work to be able to get ready for our guided global meditation tonight, which is what we will be doing. And maybe, well, actually, I don't know. I'll probably just be doing the meditation. I was thinking, I'm like, will I do the meditation and then do more tarot? Maybe. Again, I'm hustling hard on the tarot this month because it's my goal to reach it as high as possible. That way, so I'll be able to achieve, again, my coming objectives, again, such as being able to get my own apartment. So thank you for supporting. And no, you're not just like paying for me to get an apartment. You're supporting me as an individual, as an artist. And again, so I can keep investing in the project, investing in myself, and allow all of us to be able to grow together as a team. So thank you for honoring what we are creating together. Awesome. Thank you, Paul, leaving the comments there. All dreams came from what you think. Using mine, dream big. Lindsay sharing an article there about laziness. Interesting. I'll have to check that out. Ariel saying, and one of the most important train we choose is the first thing in the morning. It directs which directions others will be coming from. Great point, Ariel. Absolutely. I think that's a great point, is like, how do we begin in the morning, right? If we choose how we begin in the morning, that's why if you can begin your morning with dance, begin your morning with calmness, begin your morning with intention, begin your morning with journaling. What we're going to do, once we get over 200 supporters on Patreon, I'm actually going to be resuming the Waking Up with Wolf broadcasts. A lot of you are familiar with those and you really, really like those. And that's like doing morning meditation together. That's something that I do plan on getting back into, because again, like those were like super, super valuable, because it gave us a point to come together as a team and to really just kind of like drop into that space of relaxation and attention, and then to be able to carry that with us throughout our days. And I know that made some like big impacts in a lot of people's everyday journeys. So thank you, Ariel. We are supporting you, supporting us all. Thank you. Again, like we're all just extensions of one big being. So thank you again, everyone, for adding your support in all forms. All right. Awesome. Again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. Be sure to check out the Patreon when you can if you would like to be able to sign up at the $11 level to get Lumerian Light Guardian Crystal, and you can also get me have access to me as your private conscious media creation coach. And again, you can also get all sorts of other cool perks and benefits and rewards, access to exclusive content, a lot more content still to come. And yeah, so much more that I'm excited to be able to create and share with you together. So if this is your first time tuning in, make sure that you connect to my YouTube and subscribe there, youtube.com/SkullBabylon. Like this video if you're already on YouTube. And follow me on Instagram at Mystic Spider-Man. Connect to our team page at Paradigm Shift Central. Check out Patreon at patreon.com/Brendan Culleton. And tune in tonight for our live full moon guided global meditation, which is literally what I'm going to go work on now. I'm going to go do all the production for that now. So I posted a link for that in the chat. So for everybody here, even if you go to the page now and turn on the reminder for it for yourself, and also like the video, go ahead and you can share it with your friends and share it off my Facebook as well. And I'll be back. That'll be at 8 p.m. tonight. So again, I gotta step out now. I gotta go do some work up at the library, focusing on that. And yeah, thank you so much, everyone. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the guided meditation tonight. So you can see the post on my wall, and I'll post a link in my bio on Instagram a little bit later today. So yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to send me a message. If you're planning on signing up to the Patreon, again, sign up before the end of this month for the contributions processing on February 1st. If you have any questions, just let me know. Share this broadcast with your friends. And as always, thank you for helping change the world by being able to just continue to send love to yourself. And thank you to our newest Patreon supporters. Today, again, thank you to Michelle, to Haroline, and to Holly as well, who all signed up for the $5 level on the Patreon. So thank you so much, everyone. And Holly, thank you again for being with us during this last reading. I did see your 1111s in the chat earlier, so thank you, Holly. Super appreciated. Shout out to Eric, Allison, Sue Wolf, Ryder, and anybody else who is still tuned into this. I know Mark was in here earlier. Again, Holly, and again, shout out to Lindsay and to Ariel and to Paul and to anybody else who is tuned into this. All right, team, go have an awesome day. Go take time to be able to connect with your breath. Give yourself that gift. Practice being in that eternal now, and I will see you later for our special full moon guided global meditation tonight at 8 p.m. Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So have an awesome night, have an awesome day, have an awesome now, and as always, keep it shifty, and I will see you in the future. This is Skull Babylon. Until next time. All right, see you guys soon. Much love.